Oh, hello there. Come closer out of the dark and sit around my campfire, why not? My name is of no great importance, but the stories I have to tell you are. Witness 4 lost souls journeying together through a grim world of perilous adventure. Be warned, though, these stories are not for the faint-hearted, and once you have heard them, you cannot unheard them. Bear witness to the Vagabond Chronicles. Holy shit.
Carry on my vagabonds. There'll be peace when you are done. Lay your weary heads to rest. Don't you cry no more. Gear it on up and let's play for a while. The undead aren't far behind. You can hedge your bet on a steel chariot. Zombies coming right on time. Now if you're ready to dive into overdrive, Ratty, the magic is on. It's like you're running away on some high octane. Every time you sing this song, won't you take a ride on heavy metal? It's the only way that you can survive down that road. Satisfied on heavy metal. Fight until they explode.
in that situation, I guess. Somehow apparently have adopted this, like basically gung-ho like idiots who like play at soldier and stuff do zigzagging. It's the worst thing you can possibly do. You want to run in a straight line to wherever you want to get to real quick as fast as you can. Zigzagging does not work, so that's a misnomer. There's a very funny bit in Generation Kill, actually, which is all about like soldiers in Iraq, Afghanistan, I think it is, or Iraq or something like that.
Iraq.
And there's a press officer that does that, and they look at him like, "What are you doing?" And it's like, "I'm zigzagging." He's like, "People don't do that." So there's a very famous bit at the end of the movie where these two guys zigzag the whole way across basically a killing field. Only one of them survives, and the one that doesn't survive is the douchebag. And he's like, that guy's... And Michael Caine turns to camera and goes, "That man out there was a bloody hero." And that's like the whole thing, the whole bit about the film is that this dude becomes a hero.
I love it.
Yeah, there you go.
I love it, and
So
I love
weird.
your Michael Caine.
Do you like my Michael Caine? I haven't busted it out yet.
It was pretty good.
Thank you very much.
It was
Thank
pretty good.
Slightly off topic. Let's go back into... Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Vagabond Chronicles.
Yeah, that was
Thank
a
you for
learning
doing-
experience, wasn't it?
That was a really interesting one. Very, very warm welcome to the Vagabonds. Huge welcome to the mods and the disco mods as well. I don't know, we've got a little bit of community news, I guess, but not a huge amount, but a few things. So we're going to roll straight into it because we're slightly behind the time that I wanted. So, yeah. Your community news with your pal and possibly best friend that you haven't met, Thomas Bearded Vladimir Mustachio Felicity DeVille.
Oh, you brought back some of the old favourites. That
thought you
always
liked
makes
it.
me happy.
I thought so.
Hi there, everybody. Community news this week is kind of same as last week. We are now giving away Hero Forge figures of characters from the game, our stories as we play them, made by our very own Hero Forge genius, Clem Dodds. So every time we do an episode, we're going to give a couple away. This time, as you will see on our Instagram, which you can follow us at Vagabond Chronic, we are giving away to subscribers of Tier 2 and above. Firstly, we're giving Jean-Louis, who is the head of the La Maison Tal.
Which is Jean-Louis. This is Jean-Louis. Yep.
Jean-Louis.
Look at him.
Clem has done a really fantastic model of him. And also, Clem has also done a really awesome diorama, the second one we're giving away this time.
Oh, this is Hoppity as well, by the way. I'm showing Hoppity that we didn't do last time.
Hoppity we gave away last time. Should have done last time anyway.
Yeah, but we haven't seen him properly, so there you go. And this is the diorama that we're talking about, so this is amazing.
Yeah, Clem made this awesome diorama of the moment that the Leash Master slayed
Look at
Ziggy.
Look at that.
Big moment that happened last. Sorry, spoilers if you missed last episode, but Ziggy is no more. He is an ex-Ziggy.
Capital Empire is dead.
And the Leash Master slew him, and so you can get a model of that, a virtual model of that, if you're a subscriber. So so check those out on our Instagram. We also have a Twitter, which is at Vagabond Chronic as well. Follow us. We post fun fan stuff. I got to say an awesome thing that we posted just today on Instagram is that Arsenic Yellow has had with the help of Poppy, who's repeated ghosts, has had a model of the Mabel hat, which is the chicken hat that Ratigan wears, made up, and it looks like it's actually a proper like life-sized version of the hat. It's so good. You can check that out on Instagram right now on our Instagram. So yeah, awesome stuff. We have lots of fan art. We have all kinds of stuff on there. We have all of the models that Clem has made that we've released so far. So yeah, follow us on our Instagram. And that's all of the community news.
We also have a signing on Saturday and Sunday.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's the 7th and 8th. I'm doing a signing with a whole bunch of prints from previous work and a new anniversary, because Resident Evil anniversary on the 7th, of Heisenberg anniversary print. So you can have a look at the socials, and if you'd like to come along and grab a print and watch me sign it, that's cool. Tom's going to do Saturday, I believe. I think Blue, you're on Sunday? as well. So we're going to be talking with these two and hanging out and have fun. And any Q&As that you have, please bring them along, and we'll make something up that sounds great. Is what we'll do.
Yes, we do questions. Neil does amazing pictures.
I do.
It's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of stuff. All right, well, without further ado, let's get into it and introduce our characters and with whom the Vagabonds play. Starting with initiative order, although I'm loath to say that it is actually the halfling and not the elf that has the highest initiative. The quick-witted, apparently, doesn't denote intelligence. It's just fast. There's a difference.
Just small. The smallest goes first.
The smallest goes first. The tiniest. He's so tiny. Is Teddy Wheatpasture over here, played by Pete. Hi, Pete. Very succinctly, whom are you? What the fuck are you still? How are you still alive? In the game, not like life. You know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm Pete. I'm one of Neil's longest-standing friends.
You are.
From way back in...
Way back.
What, 13, 14, were we? I think we were 14.
I think we're 14, so 14.
Long time.
Yes.
And I've been playing Warhammer with him since then, because that was how we sort of got to know each other.
How the geeks roll.
It really was that then, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I'm playing Teddy Wheatpasture, who is a halfling thief. He's not very combat orientated. He's a bit challenged in combat and scared of everything, but does enjoy the stealing of many pretty trinkets.
Why do you?
And
why do I get
obviously
the
the Leash
impression?
Master, hopefully,
Why do I get the
has lots of
impression?
trinkets.
Why do I get the impression that your character wears diapers? Is that just weird? It's just a weird thing. I just popped
That's
into my head.
you being so weird.
It's really weird. Okay. All right. That's
You really don't like Teddy, do
That's
you?
potentially
You really don't
lore
like Teddy.
canon. I'm not entirely sure if that's canon or not, but he might wear that.
It's not canon in the slightest.
Alright,
There's no
okay.
canon there
Alright.
at all.
So let's moving on very quickly from that little weird moment to our,
Dropping diapers, adult diapers. Actually, the thing is, he's a halfling. They don't have to be adult
no,
diapers.
they don't. That's the thing. They can be Pampers diapers. They can be like
pile
big,
on, Tom.
they
Pile
can
on.
be
Thanks, mate.
big boy diapers is what they are.
What would Pampers be called in Warhammer?
Das Pampers.
Das Pampers.
Dare Pampers.
Just
Den Pampers? I don't know. One of those three. Das Pampers, I think, probably. Moving quickly on to the elf who's currently
please, very quickly.
who's currently stuck up a tree because she's actually in the tree. She's been like head first. Only her boots are actually sticking out of the tree foliage. Is our elf not on the shelf, but definitely in a tree? Delamere, played by Blue Owl's medic. Hey, Blue, what's up?
Hi, I'm good. I play Delamira, also known as Del. Apparently, I'm up in a tree
Yes, we'll
because
get to
I have
that in a
some
minute.
survival sense. And I'm a wood elf with a bow and arrow and a war dog named Fleck, who is a very good boy.
He's a very good boy, and I didn't kill him last time, despite your absence. I didn't. Kill
Thank
him.
you. No, I'm sure you just wanted to wait to see my in-person reaction.
Pretty much. And on that point of possible slander, let's move on to our hedge wizard, our very ratty-tatty hedge wizard, Rattigan P. No, Elias P. Rattigan. The P stands for P.
Elias P. Radigan.
Played by Tom DeVille. Hey, Tom.
Sounds like the kind of guy that's going to sell you a monorail.
That's right.
Hey, everybody. My name's Tom. I play the hedge wizard, Ratigan, who is a bit of a yokel. He grew up pretty much actually in a hedge, in a tiny village. He figured out magic sort of just figured it out by himself. It just came to him. He's a bit odd like that. He's got strange birthmark, which may have something to do with that. There's a birthmark of the god of Tal, so he seems to be connected to the nature god Tal. He's got like two ferrets called Mr. Spidge and Noodle Mr. Spidge, who help him with his magic.
Mm-hmm.
He can do all kinds of weird spells. Just learned a new one which kind of cannonballs him around the place.
It's called Cannibal.
Oh, okay, cool. It's called Cannonball, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's got a spell called Cannonball. Yeah, that's pretty much it. He likes to crack open a beer.
Actually, it's a ye olde vodka and tonic, actually, if I'm going to be honest.
I like it. Metrosexual ratty.
Yeah,
traditional, yes.
Yeah. And speaking
Anyway,
of metrosexuality, let's go on to our last but not least vagabond.
Wow.
Well, I grew up in metrosexuality. It's fucking cool. Or whatever. I don't know what the correct term is these days. It might have changed now. But anyway, being in touch with one's feminine side is a good thing. So lastly, anatomically incorrectly, but very much, this is like a hero pose as opposed to what a Skaven actually kind of should sound like. But anyway, enough about that. Let's go on to our last...
You need to get over that. He is a hero Skaven.
I've made peace with it. I'm actually acknowledging the fact he's a hero.
He is one of the good guys. He's
one of the
learned to stand up straight,
Yeah,
okay?
yeah.
He wants to be a knight. Posture is one of the first things he would work on.
Yeah, this episode died that he's got all these splints across his back to like basically move his spine.
Yeah, he's got a rat corset on.
He's got a rat corset on, which is in crippling agony all the time, but he just braves it out because he's a knight. This is Quint, played by Clem. Hey, Quint.
Hello. Yes, I have a very good masseuse.
Right. Okay. A ratsus.
Okay. Very specialised. No, I play Quint the Skaven, who really actually is the anti-Skaven, really, because he's everything that a Skaven isn't.
Yeah, he's aspiring, isn't he?
Yeah, so that's hence the reason why his own people want him dead. Mm-hmm. But that's neither here nor there. He wants to be a knight. He's quite probably completely insane. Yeah. But doesn't stop him doing brave things, though. So he took on a giant skeleton last time. Single-handedly, almost single-handedly. I mean, Pete did help out, and also now has webbing due to working with a rather nasty cursed box.
That's right. So the box in question is the Arca Chaotica, which he's using as a Skaven weapon of war, but it is a chaotic weapon he's not trained to use, hence his interesting mutation last time. Alright folks, so that's basically our characters. This is the situation, if you remember, that Maison Tower was under attack in the Frugalhorn Valley. The Leash Master, who is Pete undead, he died during, this is a background story, he actually made a pact with the Chaos Demon, and he had to die and become a leash himself, and then became a Leash Master. So we have had some interesting conversations about that, but I'm telling you, that's it.
Okay, I'll let you have your...
Thank you, letting me have my victory. Appreciate it.
Damn you for being right.
Not that I'm being pedantic about that in any way, shape, or form. But anyways, he's Leash Master.
He's not right.
He's not. Fuck you, Pete. All right, and so we found out our heroes raced to the clearing to try and basically cut the head of the snake off as the army descended on La Maison Tower, leaving the innocents to fend for themselves with a few of the minor NPCs there to protect them. And they managed to find the Leash Master in his home camp, his little glamping area that he had, his little tent, which has been blown apart asunder. The skeleton chariot that he was about to flee towards, well, not flee, but attack La Maison Tower firsthand, was thwarted by Corporal Ziggy, and who unfortunately was killed by the Leash Master, who then sucked out his life energy into his sword and has now been rejuvenated, and it stands very much at the height of his power. And the last thing I believe he said was something along the lines, I'm going to paraphrase now because I can't remember it. It was something along the lines of, "Oh, now, well, let's fucking do it, you vagabonds," or something like that. I actually can't remember what he said. Basically, the gist was, "Bring it fucking on, come." Yeah, that's right, Tom. "Come and have a go if you think you're hard enough, vagabonds," or something along the lines of that. And that's where we're at. We are going to thrust our way back straight into the story at a terrifying rate. And we're gonna start our cinematic by a bunch of leaves in a person's mouth. Blue, you sort of come to your senses, having had the weirdest dream of flying through the clouds and then smashing into a tree to find out you are in fact in a tree. You spit out the leaves from your mouths, tasting that and you suddenly realise, making appraisal, that it's a deciduous tree. How you know that is because you lived most of your life in trees. But you don't know how you got here. You're sort of tangled up. Your arms is like being held by branches. You're not in any immediate danger. I mean, you're just up a tree and you're quite fine with that. But you realise the sounds of battle and cries are coming from around you. You open your eyes and you spit out the leaves from your mouth and you look through the foliage and you see Ziggy sort of like with a thumbs up towards the vagabonds or towards their direction, being run through by the Leash Master himself. And then is pushed off the blade, and this life energy sort of is sucked out of Ziggy, and goes into the blade, and the Leashmaster sort of like has this purple-green huge aura around him that it sort of explodes and then sort of implodes back into his center, and he sort of stands up again and sort of says that, "Come and have a go if you think we're hard enough, vagabonds," sort of thing, which I can't remember exactly how it goes. What do you want to do? It is your round. I'm going to say it's your round simply because we're going to start it this way. Pete, you will go after
Yeah, sure.
Del. So Del, what are you up to?
Yep.
What are you doing?
Oh, up. How high am I? Like how many feet?
So you're actually not above the tree. You're in the tree. You're probably about 6 feet from the ground. You could probably easily drop down without any issue. Yeah.
Yes, I will drop down.
I get it. Okay, please roll.
Wait, where am I?
You've now landed 30 feet away from the tree. Okay, so you drop down into a crouch at the base of the tree. You're still holding your bow, which thankfully you didn't lose, and sort of do a quick scan around. Fleck is currently grappling a skeleton. Some of the skeletons are attacking each other, and some of them are just like this one skeleton is walking repeatedly into a tree like this. Dunk, dunk, dunk. These are very unskeleton-like behavior patterns, and you have no idea why they're doing this. But they seem really stupefied and really like all over the place. This one is going wow, 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 or rather like that, and just like twirling around in a circle there. The war penguin over here is exhausted and looks absolutely. It also looks blackened. You have no idea where the other war penguin's gone. The one that you were riding, which was Rice, I believe. Fleck is okay, thank God. You don't check on the other vagabonds because Fleck is okay. Sorry, that's what you take. That's what you take in a glance notice.
Okay. Can I? What kind of weapon does the Leashmaster have?
So the Leashmaster has this fuck off huge sword, which he's run through Ziggy with, and he also is holding a staff. The staff seems enchanted. It also seems to be throbbing with some kind of chaotic energy, like a kind of swirling pink and green colours that are sort of flying around. And you also notice, actually, can you make an initiative test?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not really magical, but I will allow this, so...
Okay, sorry, I have to zoom out.
Yeah. What's your initiative again? Is it still 69?
Yes, it is. It's 69.
Oh, you get plus
Nice.
5 because you're breakfast as well. So
Nice.
that's 13. Okay, that's perfect. That's a pass. You notice that every now and again, this staff has this sort of swirly effect around him, almost like a kind of invisible shell that every now and again sort of goes like that, and you just see this green and pink aura around him, like almost like a mini bubble. And it seems to sort of like has started now that he's lifted the staff up, and the staff seems to be activated somehow. But he's got
Like a force field, or
kinda. It's more like in Dune you get like the shield, the slow blade penetrates the shield. It's like that. So there's some kind of thing around him, but it doesn't look like it's impenetrable. It's just definitely there. So just FYI.
I have an idea that
Yeah.
I'd like to try. I would like to try a trick shot to disarm. I do have a skill disarm.
Okay.
I don't know if that would work.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna allow
And
that.
I wanna try and aim directly at the hand that's holding the staff. Because I was asking because I didn't know if the sword was one-handed or two-handed. But if it's one-handed,
It's one-handed. Yeah.
so it shouldn't be as difficult as if you had a good grip on it.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel like this. I was gonna go for the sword, but it sounds like the staff is running on some bullshit.
This is a hypothesis of yours. You're not a magic user. So you have no idea how this works. But yeah.
Right, but I've seen like some of my compatriots with magic, so I kind of can get the sense like that's.
Yeah, you've seen the numbskulls.
Yeah. So I would like to try to do a trick shot, aim for the hand that's whichever hand is holding the staff, and disarm.
Okay, so disarm. I'm going to say in your situation it's a little different. So I think it's kind of fair that you can do this because you are a specialist archer. I'm going to say he's moving around. There's not combat, but it's definitely not. He's facing his back is facing you. So I'm going to say there's a -10 penalty to your ballistic skill for this shot. You can make the shot, but it's a tricky shot to make. So it's going to be -10 to your ballistic skill to hit it. But if you hit it, it'll injure him enough to be able to for him to drop the staff.
Oh Lord! What if I yell "Hey" and he turns around?
You can try that as well. Do you want to make a fellowship test? Hey, hey, hey!
No.
Hey, Leashmaster, hey!
I'll take the -10. All right. So sorry, it'd be my ballistics.
It's a ballistic skill. What is your ballistic skill stat?
It's 67, so I
that's
guess it would be 57.
57, exactly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh Lord! Oh God! Give me strength.
Was that a roll? Didn't seem much of a roll. It seemed like you just did this.
Oh well, I hit art.
Neil, did you say that you were gonna ceremoniously
I have.
delete?
I actually did.
Oh.
I deleted all the dice and I reinstalled all the dice. These are fresh dice. Fresh dice. New player. New player. I'm doing. You can't see it because we're not on camera yet. But I'm literally doing this with my hands and then putting my hands up, like washing my hands and then putting them up again, which is what dealers do when they leave the table. So that's what I just did.
We should have put him in dice jail. That's what I did.
Should have put him in dice jail. Yeah.
a little box.
So 74, I think it was, or whatever it was, is a fail. Okay, so you fire at the last second. He sort of turns and just puts his staff in the way, and then the arrow just just ricochets off this sort of weird shell thing that's around him, and that's why you miss. So he just sort of deflects the arrow as it comes towards. At the same time, he kicks Ziggy's body, and Ziggy just slides off his sword. And this sort of this effect happens where it almost looks like he's leeching the very life essence off Ziggy, and it goes through the sword into his body, and he stands ever so slightly straighter with a sort of stronger sense about him. So obviously he's sort of taken something from Ziggy that's helped him, I don't know, power up or regain health or something like that. So he definitely looks stronger for it. He's also now taking out a new cigarette. By the way, he smokes. I should point that out, Blue. He smokes terribly.
We could just wait a couple of years and maybe he'll develop lungs. How does he smoke? Wait, is he...
Yeah.
He's got a cigarette in his mouth already going. He's already dead, so it's fine. Okay, so that's your go. Tiny little small annoying shit. It's your go.
I think you're talking to Clip. What's he gonna do?
Wall-to-wall compliments tonight.
So sorry, Pete. It's Teddy's go now, Pete. So it's your go, sweetheart.
So is he just monologuing at us, effectively?
No, he's not. No, he's not distracted. He's just killed Ziggy. It's not his turn yet, but he's dispatched Ziggy, which is pretty. By the way, can everybody please make a cool test?
Here we go.
Yeah, can everybody make a cool test? You've just seen the strongest fighter amongst you get wasted. I think that's fair enough. Del, you don't need to make a cool test because you didn't like Ziggy. Because fuck that
This
guy.
is true.
You didn't like it?
I didn't like
No, Del didn't like it. That's
Racist.
a pass.
All right.
That's a pass from Pete because Pete doesn't like him either. Can we get a cool test from you? You've got +5 to your roll, by the way, for the Teddy special still in effect.
54. I think that's a fail.
That's a fail. Okay.
Hang on. I need to open my. I mean, I might pass it with luck.
Okay.
I don't know how luck would affect a sort of that kind of.
It basically, the luck would you can plus or minus depending on what you need by 10 or by 1.
Yeah, but I'm just thinking about how luck would does it just mean I wouldn't be looking in the right place? At the right time?
Basically it just means that you didn't notice, you saw him killed but you didn't see how gruesome it was, and you didn't see the life essence turning, so you sort of feel more pissed off and upset about. He wasn't a friend, but he was definitely one of the people you've known the longest. Like, you've known him as long as you've known him.
It doesn't matter because I would fail it even with luck. So
okay. So you see Ziggy's lifeless corpse drop to the ground. Your months of friendship with him, your months of friendship like sort of flash before your eyes, and all the good times, which is really difficult to find the good times, but you get like a couple of times when you laugh together. You vaguely remember the bar incident where you got hammered together at the village, and that was a really good night.
Yeah, that was a good night.
And it just affects you. You are now afraid. You have fear, which means you can totally defend yourself, but you can't this round do anything offensive against the Leash
and your
Master.
bloody fear rolls.
We haven't lost any wounds over it. It's fine.
Whatever they are, you're a monster for them.
So you're not going to be able to attack the Leash Master this round, but you can make a cool test next round and successive rounds without any penalties.
Yeah, it's really boring. You just have to roll dice until I can do stuff again. All right, go on.
You're welcome.
It's one of my least favourite mechanics in the game.
I know, but it is a mechanic. So Pete, you passed because you hate Ziggy. How did you do, Clem?
I'm fine, boss. I got a 0, 0, 0, 0, 0
Oh,
on
that's
the
a critical
thing.
success.
I got 4.
That's a critical
Yeah.
success.
So I'm saying a prayer for his soul to the lady and get on with avenging him.
All right, I'm going to say that actually, if you wish to, you can get like a. It's not a frenzy because it would be more uncontrollable, but it's more like you get one of those. No, man, I only met her 2 days ago. No,
And he insulted me. Yeah.
you now get a +1. You get a +1 to your attacks to damage because you're now filled with indignation of evil triumphing over not good but annoying. Evil triumphing over annoying has pissed you off somehow for some reason. So you get +1 to your attacks. I'm going to say for the next for this combat, let's say. Not to attack, sorry, to your damage. There you go. Because you're ever so slightly pissed off from this dude that you didn't know that was really mean to you.
But he was a knight.
But he was a knight, as far as you're
was a
aware.
knight.
Yeah, you go.
Yep.
Okay, so that is your goes. Pete, it's still your go, isn't it, Pete?
So,
yeah.
but I'm not a go. Yeah, yes, it was.
Yeah, it's your go.
We just did that dice roll. So, remember, he wasn't yours to kill. He was one of us. He may have been a dick, but oh by God, you've got to have vengeance now, son.
All right, what are you gonna do, sir?
I am going to fire a slingshot at him.
Okay, so that's your ballistic skill roll. What's your ballistic skill again?
It is 57 plus spec weapon, and marksmanship, sling. Okay. So 67. What do we get? 002. So
that is a critical hit. That's double damage. Cool. So you roll
2 dice or just roll 1?
Put out his left eye, you gorgeous hobbit.
It's up to you, actually. You can just roll 1 or 2 dice. You'll roll 1 twice, entirely up to you. So.
I've already rolled 1, so let's do that.
So roll on this first, because if you don't, because you can't get a critical on the second dice unless you get a critical on the first one. So that's fine.
So yeah, 2. I rolled.
Okay, so that's 2 plus. That's 2 plus your effective strength, your slingshot, which is 3. That's a 5. Yep. That's 10 points of damage to the leash master. So your aim is true. You fire off, and as you fire off, it hits the leash master. He sort of stumbles back a little bit, but it doesn't do as much damage as you thought it would do. So he's actually going to take very little damage from that. You fire it off. It hits him. You go, "Argh! Oh, you like to play it rough, do you?" And he just sort of looks at you, and then and sort of like starts turning towards you and starts whirling his arms around in an incantation. So yeah, there's a kind of a fuck me moment from you, I guess, really, because that didn't do it. That was a really good shot, and it didn't do as much damage as you kind of hoped it would, I guess. So that's not great. It's now his go. He starts like putting his hands around, and he sort of does like a Haruken with his staff. And he goes Haruken like that, and just sort of jumps up in the air and goes woo like that, wee, and then comes down again. Woo. Actually, I want to use the other model because this is like Ziggy's dead now. We don't care about Ziggy anymore.
Oh, the leash cube's back.
Yeah, the leash cube. I tried uploading it to the cloud of this game. For some reason, it wouldn't do it. So yes, it's for you. It's the leash cube. For all of us, it's a magnificent, a beautiful fucking model. Look at that. Isn't that cool? Wow, Clem, you really outdid yourself on that one. So yes, he's now going to throw your fireball towards you. So he holds his staff out, he swirls it around, and goes, and this green fireball launches towards you. You can make an initiative test to dodge. Otherwise, an effective strength of 3 hit with a D. Is that a D10 or a D8? I can't remember.
It's D10. Yeah.
D10. Wow. Okay. I instantly regret doing this to you, people. Well, so much. Okay, so that is going to be 3 plus. That's 9 points of damage. You can make an initiative
to me
to you
specifically.
Yeah, specific only to you. You can make an initiative test to halve that.
Yeah.
And that'll be then 5 points of damage, I guess.
Only a dice. No, you're not a dice. You're a monster.
Roll the monster. That could work. Yeah, all the monsters. All right. 55, which is a pass, I think, for you comfortably.
Yes, it is.
All right, so that's 5 points of damage minus any armor or toughness first, and then armor afterwards.
So I have no armor, so I've got toughness of 3, so I take 2 wounds.
2 wounds. All right, so this fireball's like this green fireball like throws out and explodes at your feet, and you sort of pinwheel back. You do like a back somersault by accident, and you smack on the ground, but they sort of come up into a roll, into sort of like a semi-combat stance. So you're not knocked off your feet. You're knocked off your feet, but you're okay, kind of. But that really hurt. That was like a bad idea. Okay, cool.
I'm down to 2 wounds.
Yes. Cool. Okay, that is your go, sir. He's had his go. Now, Ratty, it's now your go, sir. You can make a cool test now. I'm being fair, so you can make a cool test if you wish. Try and get out of fear.
Right, here we go.
77 is a failure.
Failure.
Yeah, so you're still
falling around on the floor, blubbing. Like a baby.
Pretty much. But you can do something. You can do something. You just can't attack him offensively. So if there's something else that you want to do, you're most welcome to.
I'm going to crawl over to Ziggy's. Oh, is the leash master standing over Ziggy's body?
I don't recommend you crawl over to Ziggy right now. Like, fuck Ziggy, basically. I really wouldn't worry about him too much.
I might try and take a shelter then behind something.
Okay, cool.
Is there anything to shelter behind?
Yeah, there's a nearby tree just behind you. You can shelter behind if you want.
All right, I'll crawl behind that and cower and hug myself and just be like, he was a racist arsehole, but I kind of liked, we had a couple of good times together.
All right, cool. So you do that. Next up is going to be Quint. Quint, you control this box. Scooter is now hacking this other skeleton. That's still pretty stupefied. You notice that the two archers have sort of wandered back. They've obviously fallen off the chariot and they're now wandering back towards the fight, but they're not doing anything. They're still pretty stupefied. What do you want to do, sir? You have a go, and you're on fuck all wounds, I seem to remember.
Yeah, that's why I'm downing that healing potion that Teddy gave me.
Oh yeah, you got a healing potion. All right, so it's 2d6 you get to roll, and that's because it's a full. If you're doing the entire thing, that's 2d6 wounds. It's an entire draft. So roll a d6 twice. That's 6, very good, and then roll another one. And that's 2, so you get 8 wounds back to your total.
Okay, that's cool.
So you're up to maximum, I believe, right?
Fairly close to it, yeah. Let's have a look. My maximum is 8, so 7. That's better than a kick in the teeth. I like that. Cool. Okay, can I?
You just got 8 wounds back. So and you're on. Oh, you're minus one. That's right.
Oh, I am.
All right, cool. So you basically. You quaffed this thing, and the one remaining whisker that you have just goes completely straight, like boing, like that. And where your tail should be, you sort of feel your tailbone also do the same thing, and your whole body just gets a little electrified, and you like that, and like that, and you sort of stand very straight and erect, and you feel fucking great. Actually, you feel fantastic. You feel like you can take on a whole bunch of leash masters. Because you're an idiot.
That's exactly what I'm going to do.
Right.
Okay, can I take a quick look at the penguin? Is it absolutely shagged? As in, can't. It's not going to go anywhere.
No. This penguin is out of the fight. This penguin is exhausted. Right. Its face is half burnt. Its beak is like blackened, and it's in quite a lot of pain. The other penguin, you have no idea where that's gone to. So those things you can't count on.
Okay, so on to plan B then.
Okay.
Right, I'm going to shoulder my my shield, pick up the box, ready my sword, and start walking towards the leash master, intending on doing him an awful lot of damage.
Okay, just one note about the box. You're up to like a 25% chance of getting another mutation. I think I know that you know what you're doing. I'm just going to say that, just bear that in mind, dude, because there's going to come a point to which it may not be a good idea to use the box, but that's okay. So you've got the box.
But I'm banking on the fact that the defensive parts of the box, which my character actually felt, do not hold that much of a mutation risk.
Okay, cool. That's fair enough. Okay, so you're basically using it as a defense thing at the moment. Okay, cool.
Yep.
So you're walking towards him, trying to enter combat. Okay, that'll happen next round. You'll be able to get into combat. Okay. Okey-doke. So last up, that's it. That's the round gone. The skeletons are still wandering around like fucking idiots. One of them is trying to kiss Fleck the war dog. In fact, actually, Blue, you have Fleck as like an extra attack, don't you?
I do,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
remembered after.
All right, cool. So you can use Fleck. Well, Fleck's initiative is lower than yours anyway, so you can use Fleck to do something to this. This skeleton's trying to give it a little kiss, like that with his little jaw, because it's fucking insane. And then you notice these two skeletons are sort of wandering back. So what do you want to do with Fleck? It's going to be an automatic hit of double damage, so basically it's going to kill it, basically. It's more like a narrative thing.
I mean, with the skeleton that's trying to make out with my dog.
Yeah, it's trying to make out with your fucking dog, dude. And there's a part, because it's made of bones, there's a part of Fleck that kind of is okay with it.
I mean, if he's there, then I would like him to destroy said skeleton.
Okay, so the skeleton. So you do have like your commands for Fleck? Have you got like worked out a few like Elvish words and stuff?
Attack.
Yeah, bite.
Fetch.
Okay, so would you mind laying on us? It's a bit last minute improvised, but what would be like an Elvish word for bite or something like that? I kind of like the idea of making it up.
Yarna.
Yarna. Okay, just Yarna. Like that. And then Fleck goes, his ears go up, and as this skeleton's like leaning forward for a big old smooch, Fleck just opens its jaw like that and just grabs the skull and starts shaking it vigorously. It just goes like that, just pops off the body. And then he's now got this skeleton just collapses to the ground. Cool. Okay, so new round. Pete, you're up, you terrified little rabbit.
I'm not terrified of this guy,
All right.
but I am slightly worried about more fireballs coming my way, obviously.
Yeah, sure.
With Klim getting into close combat with him, I hope that'll stop a little bit of that from happening. So
The rat meat shield does it again.
Yeah, and it's worked that way. So it's sort of dodge round to the flanking of him a little bit, and then start again firing another shot at him.
Okay. So you can roll your damage again, sir.
Nope, missed this time.
Okay, so you sort of fire off again. The shell that he still has is deflecting your bullets away from it. Your little metal or stone bullets.
Right, can you do anything about that?
Pew, pew, like that, it just fires off. Del, it's your go. You've seen that the halfling is not having much luck trying to penetrate this like sort of semi-invisible, semi-permeable shield. It's your go. What do you want to do?
Okay, I'm thinking. Can this is such a long shot, and it's putting him in danger. Could I see about having Fleck fetch the staff?
You can totally do that. Yeah, you can do that. Yeah.
While also simultaneously, go ahead. Simultaneously trying to shoot him in the head, like so he's so like he doesn't like I kind of attempting a stagger.
Yeah, sure.
And
okay. Right.
And while he's doing that, having Fleck fetch, at least attempt.
Do you have strike to stun?
I do.
Then let's say you're going to strike. You're not going to do any damage to him, but the stagger will be like a stun attack. So your trick arrow shot will be using strike to stun, just to knock him back, as it were. It won't damage him, I'm telling you that now. But what it will do is stun him for a round, so Fleck can try and wrestle the staff off him.
Okay.
All right, so it's a straight ballistic skill. He's in combat almost. Is he in combat? Not quite. Okay, so he's alone. He's still an individual. So it's just a straight ballistic skill roll this time because he's facing Quint down and is about to sort of engage with Quint. So that's fine. That is an 80. What is your ballistic skill?
It's not 80. It's
All right.
67.
So you fire off, and it looks like at the last minute that the leash master sort of sees your arrow and just literally just like shifts his weight to the left, and the arrow just flies past over here, unfortunately, and misses him. Cool. Well, that is your go. You've got another go round with Fleck afterwards if you wish to do something. You can do that. But at the moment, that's sort of your go, as it were. Okay. So next up is I guess the leash master. So the leash master sort of like again he swirls around his staff, and then he just opens up his cape in his hands, and out blasts this spell, which literally sort of like rolls out like this, and it's this huge amount of wind, like kind of like a tornado almost, just bursts out of his cape. I realise what that sounds like, but anyway, Quint, you're gonna have to make a strength test. It's aimed straight at you.
Right.
So that's strength. What's your strength?
My strength.
So go ahead,
Yeah.
Pete. I know you've been chomping at the bit for this one.
My strength
No,
is
no, no. I
3.
just remember the old ratty gust of wind spell that we used to do.
Yeah, that's right. This is
Right,
like
this.
you used to fart at people, basically. This is a lot more. This is a lot more sophisticated.
This was an old version of pre Vagabond Chronicles version of Ratigan.
Yeah, you used to do basically a fart and knock people over.
Our fast, yes.
Yeah. So okay, so this wind spell sort of like bursts out of him, of his cloak
Yep.
and his body, and it knocks you down. What's your strength? Normally,
Strength of 3, and I've rolled a 22 over here.
which is so strength of 3 times 10 is 30, which is 22 is underneath that. So fine, great. You actually get surprised by it, and it sort of knocks you back by like a few centimeters. But you dig your feet in the ground. You raise the Arca Chaotica, try and push in front of you to sort of like deviate the wind away from around you, and you manage to hold your ground. So you can move forward at half your rate through the wind, but you essentially should be able to make combat next round. So that doesn't
Cool.
make a difference.
I'm going to kill him and eat him.
So Teddy and Blue and even Ratty, you all see this amazing heroic gesture by the Skaven, who's just like sort of like pushing his way against this like wind blast that's coming out of the Leashmaster of Heimlich Kemmler, which is pretty cool. Ratty, I'm going to say you can +5 onto your next cool roll, because you're actually +10, because let's be fair, +10 to your next cool roll, because essentially the group are not backing down. Like the day is not lost yet, so I'm going to give you a sort of helpful bonus to try and snap you out of that.
Please help me with my crap stats and my terrible.
I am. I'm doing my best, babe. So don't forget, you got the +5 from the Teddy special breakfast that day, which is still in effect.
I gotta remember, all my stats are still in my 30s. It's like I've got a third of a chance of passing
Well,
anything.
you've now got +10s. That's for whatever the. What is your stat for cool? Just out of curiosity.
30, 30 something or other. 37, I think. 36. Hang on.
Would be good to be specific.
I'm just finding my.
Humans do need the luck the most, don't they?
Come on. For some reason, my computer is being very slow. 32.
Okay, so now
32.
it's 42 now, and then you've also got luck to make it 52 if you need to.
Do we still have that +5 to all stats?
Yeah.
Yes, you do actually. So +5 on top of that. Yeah. So it's
Okay.
it's 47 or 57 if you use luck. If your luck holds.
Okay. I'm rolling now. Is it my go again?
Yep, it's your game. Yep.
Okay.
That's a 53. That's with luck that will pass if your luck holds.
Bloody hell. Alright, I guess I'll use luck.
Okay, so that is now your luck holds again for the day. It's coming up towards midnight, so I think, well, it won't affect this combat, to be perfectly honest, but just be aware that the day is almost ended.
That's the first time I've used luck in a long time.
Yeah.
It is.
So you sort of steel yourself. You dig your fingers into the grassy earth, and you sort of, although you're weeping and trying to fight back even more tears and blubbering, you sort of like connect with the earth again, and that gives you a certain sense of reassurance that you're sort of one with the planet, and the Lord, your father Tal is with you, and you sort of steel yourself and manage to stand back up to your feet. You may now take an action and have your go. One of those ones, yeah, exactly. What do you want to do, sir?
I'm gonna feed this fucker my javelin. Getting a taste of the old ratty javelin, which I've never hit.
You've never hit anybody with.
I've never hit a single person with this very cool weapon that I've got, which I think feels about right for Ratty.
Pretty much.
I'm going to actually announce that. Oi! Leashy! I ain't ever hit anyone with this, but there's a first time for everything. Right, roll it.
What's your ballistic skill, sir?
No, I'm rolling.
Tell me your ballistic skill is, sir.
Hang on. With luck, I will hit it.
Oh, great. Okay, so does your luck still hold, though? Let's find out. Your luck holds. Yes, your luck is held yet again for the day. And
Double whammy on luck.
Double whammy on luck. Yeah, and you sort of this javelin flies. Tell me how the javelin hits him. Sorry, so you got to do some damage in a minute.
Where on his body will it hit? I never know what part of the.
You reverse it, so that's a 64. So that'll be like left leg, I believe.
No, it's a body shot.
Is that a body shot still? Really? I thought it was legs. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's a body shot. So it's basically going to be in his back, like sticking in his back.
All right. Well, so I basically whirled around and slung this thing and made my announcement, and it has hit him.
Amazing.
Congratulations, Tom.
Thank you. And it's good that I'm finally being some use in this fight.
So roll a d6 for damage, sir.
3,
3. So what's your base strength?
4.
4. That's a hit. That's a 7 hit on him. Okay, so that's going to be okay. It's a magical weapon, isn't it?
Yes.
Okay, so unlike the arrows and the bolts that were just sort of bouncing off this weird kind of force field, your javelin goes straight through and actually does pierce him in the back. He lets out a cry. It doesn't do a huge amount of damage that you can see, but it definitely cuts him, and then it instantly zoops back to your hand, and then and it sort of comes. You have that recall ability, don't you? So it sort of skips back into your hand afterwards.
Do I not need to do that in another round, or is
no?
that...
It's pretty much instantaneous, unless you
That's
shoot
just because I hit him. I've never managed to do that before. Is it recall when I hit him?
Yeah, unless you sort of deliberately. Well, actually, that's a very good point. No, it should. Sorry, I had to burp. it should recall.
That'll be the gin and tonic.
That is the gin and tonic. It'll recall the next round when you want to recall it. That's actually fair enough.
Yeah, I thought that's how it worked. That's
Yeah.
sort of how we've been playing it so far.
Okay, so that's it. So you've done some damage to him. It's penetrated whatever this weird shield is. It didn't seem to be affected at all by it. And he sort of turns and he goes, "I'll deal with you in a minute, you pathetic attempt for a mage." You notice the cigarette is like really, almost like right to the nub. You know
Did he call me a maig?
A maig, yeah. He called you a maig.
A maig. You're a maig.
You're a maig. You're a maig. Yeah, so he sort of like put out a bony finger towards you, and he sort of turns back into the inevitable combat that's about to happen. That is your go, Quint. It is now your. Wait, has the leash master done anything? Yeah, he hit you with a wind blast. That's right. Yeah. So Quint, it's now your go.
Whirlwind.
Yeah, it's your go.
Right, so that's me then, yes?
Yep.
Right, okay. Well, all pleasantries aside, I think it's time to hit this son of a bitch.
All right, roll it.
Right, let's see how my luck holds here.
That's a 72.
Not gonna cut it.
No, okay. So you sort of like you reach out with your weapon, and he manages to get his sword quite easily and parries you off and just sort of beats your weapon away, and you're now locked into combat, the two of you. But
cool.
he sort of laughs. He goes, "Oh, you're unusual. Not quite human. Not quite Skaven. Something else, I warrant."
I would watch your words, wizard, because I'm not here to just kill you. I'm here to strip your flesh. I will eat you when I am done.
Blimey.
He sort of goes, well, yeah. Actually, the leash master also goes, "That's a bit dark." "I'm a leash master. It's a bit heavy. All right." So, okay, you see you're locked into combat. And you're being judged socially as well. Okay, so it's a new round, new day, new round. Del, you now see that Quint is sort of like strode towards the leash master.
Doesn't Quint get 2 attacks? Hold on.
Oh, he's got 2 attacks. Yes, he
Yes,
has.
he does.
Doesn't he? Yes, he does. In which case, you get 2 attacks, I believe. Yeah. Your second attack comes now, actually, because he's only got 1. That is a 70?
Yep.
Okay, that's a miss as well, right?
Not a chance. No.
Okay, so the leash master locks
yeah.
his like staff and blade together and just like catches your blade and like sweeps it off in a big dramatic motion. He goes, "Oh yes, all talk, all bark and no bite, eh, doggy?"
A death by 1,000 cuts, sir, suits me fine.
You know that doesn't work, right? The whole 1,000 cuts. People have to stay still for 1,000 cuts. It doesn't really work like that. Let me show you. I'll show you.
The time for talking, mage, is over.
All right, new round. So, Del, you are up.
Shut him up.
Del, you are up. This is getting a bit weird now. Like the insults are getting a little strange. What do you want to
Be
do?
like, do you two need a moment?
Sorry, Del, what was that, please?
Question.
Yeah.
I always forget I have this ability, Strike Mighty Blow. Is that only for
melee
can
weapons.
I use that with
You can't,
melee
no,
weapon?
you can't
Okay.
use that for arrow shots. No, because
That's what I thought.
the arrow is denoted by the bow itself. But your bow is an elf bow, which is effective strength 4, which is like one of the most powerful range weapons you can get, apart from bombs and things.
Right. Well, I mean, I'm definitely ranged, so, and I do have the scimitar, but I don't feel confident.
Okay, sure.
I would like to attempt again what I tried before.
Okay, so if you fail, there's going to be a risk that you're going to hit the rat. I'm just saying that if you miss the shot, because you're firing into a group, it's possible you could hit the rat. Just saying. Okay.
Take the shot, Del. Take the shot. I'll take the hit. Take the shot,
Del. Take the shot. Who was that? Who said that? I don't know. Some random dude. Take the shot.
Okay. How far away am I from?
You're only about 20 yards. It's basically it's like a very short range shot. You're about 20 yards away from.
Right, and I'm markswoman, but I could still hit the rat if I bomb this.
You can hit the rat because they could move at the last second. It's basically to reflect they're moving into combat. They're fighting now. So in combat with swords and things, obviously you shift position a lot. So what could happen is you may fire true, and if the roll fails, then the rat sort of gets in the way of your shot. Do you know what I mean? Because it's not your fault. And if
that wasn't a roll. I was moving.
No, that's cool. And if you kill him, I will not blame you. It's fine. Just saying.
What?
No blame attached. No blame attached.
Wait, he's got like 1 wound? What's he at? I don't know if I can do this.
You saw him take what you think is like a health thing or health potion, so he looks pretty robust for a rat. He looks pretty happy and healthy. So he can probably lose a few wounds. You're fine.
Do I hear him say, take the shot? Because that would probably convince me to take the shot.
Yeah, I can say that's fair enough.
You see me hesitate.
Well, I tell you what, I'm just going to grab something. So why don't you two have that little free action conversation? Why not?
Like, Clem, I can't do it. Quint, I can't do it. Let's see what happens.
My lady, we need all weapons here. I can hold him, but I can only hold him.
Okay.
I'm just pouring myself a drink for this. 49, is that a hit?
That's a hit!
Hey, all right, that's a hit. So please roll a d6 and then plus the effective strength, which is 4, which is pretty good.
That was strike to stun. I was doing what I did before.
Right, okay, so you can try and stagger him. Okay, cool.
Yes.
So in which case you don't roll a d6, that's fine.
Whoops,
you roll,
sorry.
that's a d3. Roll a roll a d3. That actually is appropriate. So roll a d3 and I'll just make some adjustments. Okay, so yeah, you knock him. So basically, you what are you gonna try and distract him at the same time just to be a dick?
I mean, I was trying to just get him off of, like, stagger him, like, because the other thing is I wanted Fleck to go for the staff.
Okay,
Fetch
cool.
the stick, boy. Get the stick. Bring me the stick. Mama wants that stick.
So otherwise, Mama doesn't love you anymore. Okay, so you fire off the arrow, and he goes and he's just like trying to kill the rat. And actually, what you do is you literally shoot his hat off, and his hat goes tumbling over and actually lands right next to Tom. And he goes, "No, my hat! Oh no,
My hat!"
Yeah,
Is he bald? But he's bald.
He is. No, he's got bald, but he's got a comb over. He's got this really terrible comb over.
Oh.
Yeah. He goes, "No, Dad, look at my comb over. I will kill you. I'll destroy all of you. I'll take your hair."
I was trying to do that anyway.
Yeah. Yes, but this time I'll take your hair from your corpse. I was going to leave your hair alone, but now I'll take it. No, don't look at my comb over.
Rat rug.
Yeah. So you've shot his hat off, revealing his ugly, ugly comb over. The hat is now right next to Ratigan.
We're defeating this guy through humiliation.
One
It's like
social.
Pennywise. It's like Pennywise.
Just like that. One socially degrading moment after another. That's how you're trying to kill him.
Yeah, and they're gonna shoot his male corset off, so he.
So his tummy really flops open.
Yeah.
It's like really embarrassing.
Yeah.
All right. So okay, you shoot his hat off, and he's really upset about it, and so much so that he's sort of like, "We'll go with my hat," and looks around, staggers back, and he's effectively stunned for 1 round. So that's how it's going to be. That's how the mechanics are going to work out for him. Getting my hat knocked off. Okay, cool. No, that's good. Next up, sorry, have I skipped Pete again, or did Pete have a go?
I didn't have a go. No.
I skipped you again, just out of sheer, I don't know.
Yes, I thought you'd just...
Being an asshole, basically. Okay, it's fine. Pete, it's your go, but maybe this is a good thing that we skipped you. So it's your go now, sir.
I don't care about shooting at Quint, so I'm just shooting into the...
Fair enough, sir, fair enough. Okay, so roll your ballistic skill, please.
Oh, lovely.
13.
13, that's a hit. Roll a that's a D3, sir, so you want to roll a yellow one?
Oh, that's D3.
Yeah, it's D3,
Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
So D6, yeah.
No, I didn't know you had a D3. Did you?
Yeah, man. I got everything here. That's a 5. That's a strength 8 hit, which isn't going to do a huge amount of damage to him, but it's going to do something. So yeah, you sort of as he turns around, and goes, my hat, mon chapeau, and all this kind of stuff.
It's in the arm.
Yeah, you sort of
what, left arm?
What it does, it just pings him off the left arm. Goes, oh, that hurt. Not much, but it's smart. So like a burn. Like a halfling burn, you little fuck. I'm going to get you.
This guy doesn't shut up, does he? Jesus.
No, he's really upset.
It's like a running narrative of everything. Wow.
Pretty much. So yeah, you haven't done a huge amount of damage, but you've definitely done something enough that later on you can say to people around the pub if you survive this, yeah, I got my licks in. Yeah, I hit him a few times. A good couple of hits that was. You can do that later. Yeah. You can get bragging
really
rights.
Scared, actually.
You can get a few bragging rights.
I keep circling around to where Tom is as well.
You can see Tom. He's actually standing up. He's actually by the Leashmaster's hat by this tree, and you can carry on scooting around towards him if you want to.
Yeah. I'm scooting around the tree basically.
Oh, you're gonna hide.
Some cover.
All right.
I need to. Oh no.
The tree collapses on you. Please take tree damage. It's a D8. It's a strength 9 hit. No, it's fine.
D8 trees.
Yeah. So you're sort of scooting behind the tree now. Okay, cool. Next up, I believe, therefore, would be the Leashmaster himself. He's going to make a direct attack on Quint.
But he wasn't stunned, like you just said, Neil.
Oh, he was stunned for a round, damn it. Oh, yeah, he is stunned for a round. Me and my big mouth. All right, so he's sort of going, oh, no! And he's sort of staggering around going, oh! He doesn't know who to hit first. He's so pissed off. And he doesn't do anything.
Has he got a spare hat or anything he can pull out?
He's got a tiny little fedora, which he just pops onto his head. No, he's got no hat. He's only got one hat. It's the Leashmaster's hat. Why would he have two? That's weird. He just sort of stands there looking at all of you going, yeah! That's his go, is the sound. Next up, I believe, is therefore Ratty. It's your go, sir.
I'm going to grab his hat and
dude,
run away with it, or keep away with it. I'm going to, like...
Oh, we've gone full
Put it on.
Here.
Put it on.
Put it on
Yeah,
top,
I might... well, I've got Mabel. I'll be like Ratty 2 hats there.
Yeah, that's the
Be a
thing.
little house for Mabel.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I'm going to grab it and put it on.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna pebble dash the fucker.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna pick up a pebble and you better hold on tight. Here we go, kablamo!
All right. So you're gonna roll a D3. And it's a group target you're hitting.
Yeah,
So-
you're hitting a group target.
Yeah, you're definitely going to hit him.
Yeah. So that's
Yeah.
fine. You can do that. It's a D3.
Rocky, how are you feeling about this?
Me?
You can't discuss.
well,
I'm sorry, folks. You can't discuss that. I'm sorry.
Yeah?
You're
Yeah,
not. You're not.
I can't discuss
You can't really discuss that. So you can roll a D3. If you roll 1, it'll automatically hit the Leashmaster. Anything over 1, there'll be a hit on Quint as well. So it's a D3, which is this white one over here. Please.
Where is the D3?
I'm just sending it to your now no longer dice of death because we changed them.
Okay. Right. I'm gonna roll now.
Yeah. That's a 1. Okay, so just the Leashmaster is hit. So you sort of.
Well done, Tom.
All right. So now you
Bloody
need to roll.
hell.
You need to, that was pretty close. Now you need to roll a D10, I believe.
No, it's 2d6, I think.
Is it 2d6?
Yeah, D10 is-
Jesus Christ, it's an overpowered thing. All right. How many magic points is that as well, by the way?
Was it? Is it 2d6? I'm sorry, I forgot.
I need to look up how many. I think it's 3.
Let me have a quick look on if I can find it as well.
Yeah, it's 3 magic points.
Yeah, Salt Stones, 3 magic points, 2d6.
Oh. No, hits 2d6 people.
Yeah, and
Wasn't
it's
D6
a
wounds.
D6 wounds at strength 4. It automatically hits. He's going to take a willpower test. Oh, they can't make a magic test. All right. But armor protects as normal. Okay, that's good to know. All right, so
And what am I rolling?
You're rolling a d6 then +4 to it, so.
Okay.
What was that?
3.
It's a 3 for 7 wins. But his usual shiny thing doesn't stop it because it's magic. So you sort of like you blast a couple of these rocks out. They slam him in the back, and they're going to do a couple. They don't do a huge amount to him, but they knock into him and definitely cause some kind of damage. And again, he screams like this, "Oh, you're not playing fair! I'm the magic person here!" And yeah, so you do hit him in the back. It does some damage, but not enough to sort of like kill him or anything like that. But you're definitely whittling him down as a group, which is very cool. That is your go. Next up is going to be Quint, actually.
Yep.
Okay,
Right.
so what's up?
I'm attacking him. And with a 30, that's a hit.
That is a hit. Roll for damage.
Okay, so that would be... That's 4 with a strength of 3, 7, and magical sword 8, strike mighty blow 9, and a +1 because I'm pissed off 10.
Okay.
Oh, that's a one spicy meatball.
That is a spicy meatball. So he's going to take a certain number of damage. You cut it. How you don't kill him, but you definitely do a fair amount of damage to him. So can you please tell me what happens to him?
Right, okay. So he's flailing around, basically sort of after getting a couple of, rocks to the back.
Yeah.
And I'm going for the shoulder which is holding the staff.
Okay.
So I just nip in under his, the flailing arms and jab him in the shoulder joint.
Oh, the funny bone, you bastard! Oh! Okay, so you do that. He jabs him. He doesn't drop the staff or the sword or anything like that, but it definitely hurts him. Like he's taking quite a hit on that. He steps back and sort of like is now looking around. He's definitely looking panicked, like he's losing combat a little bit, and he's definitely doing problem.
Definitely the Losers Club versus Pennywise. Specifically in the first film, I think at the end of the first film where they chip him away bit by bit.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Beginning to feel very much like that.
Yeah, indeed. Okay, so it is now a new round.
It's my second attack, sir.
Yeah, he's got second attack,
So
and then you have Fleck.
Oh yeah, Fleck gets an attack and you get an attack. Okay, very cool, very cool. Okay, hit it.
Quint, you can go.
No, I think it's about half. I think Fleck's slightly quicker than me.
Fleck is quicker than you, yeah. That's true.
Okay. While he's staggered like that, especially going for the shoulder with the staff hand, I want that staff. I go, fetch, get the stick, boy! Like I hype him up. He's so freaking amped right now.
All right. So Fleck is a war dog. There is a certain amount of. It's going to be a strength test for him to wrestle that away from the clutches.
His strength is 3.
Okay, so that's going to be 30. I'm going to give you +10 because he is staggered. He is stoned. And then stunned. Oh, I wasn't smoking cigarettes after all. Yeah, he's stunned. Possibly stoned.
His speed, his movement is 6 too.
Yeah, that's fine. He can totally dash in, grab it, and dash out without any issue. So he's got a 40% chance of pulling this incredibly awesome thing off. That's pretty good. 40% is pretty good. That's all right.
Oh, okay. I know. Okay.
So that's that's not a critical, but that's definitely a huge success. It's a 0-6. So he sort of dashes in, grabs the staff, and goes, "Oh, what are you doing? Bad dog, bad dog!" And he runs towards you with a staff in his mouth. And then he just drops it, and his tail is like wagging so much that it's almost like he's lifting off the ground. And he's just looking like that.
He's such a good boy.
So,
I notice the shimmering go away?
Absolutely, yes. The second that you take the staff, the sort of all this, and the skeletons also collapse, you've noticed. So these dumbfounded skeletons all start collapsing. And they start sort of like just collapsing. So they're just like that into the ground. Like they crumple. Not collapsing, that's too strong. They crumple elegantly to the ground like a bunch of bones. And they just sort of lie still. So these skeletons are now out of it. In fact, Scooter turns around and goes, "Oh, look, I did something amazing. Oh, I thought it was me. Pretty sure that was me. Oh, hi, Elf. Oh, hi, Del. How are you doing? Glad you're okay and everything. Do you want to go out with me?" He just sort of coughs. And just like his voice weirdly drops for 2 seconds and goes back up again. Okay, so the skeletons are sort of out of the fight now. They're completely gone, which is kind of cool. Leashmaster goes, no, my accessory. No, my outfit doesn't work without my hat and my staff. It's now, I guess, is it Teddy's go again?
I get my second attack.
Oh yeah, that's right. You get your second attack. Please go for your second attack, sir.
Lovely.
That's a 92, which is a big fail.
That's a fail.
Okay.
Okay.
It's not a critical, but it is a big old fail. All right, so you sort of like, you try to slash. He sort of he grabs his petticoats and dashes back a few steps and manages to avoid your blow quite easily. Going, no. New round. So this is now Teddy's go. So Teddy, you now have a quick, easy bead on him. His back is towards you, but don't let that feel you. But you've seen the staff being nabbed away, and that weird shimmering thing seems to have dissipated.
In trouble in the sunlight, yeah. So much talk, is
42. Is that a hit?
Yeah.
All right,
It
cool.
is.
So roll your dice. Oh shit, that's a 6. All right, that's a 6. No,
Nice.
you don't need to roll again with ballistic skill. It's a straightforward roll of the d6
okay.
again. Yeah.
Sweet.
That's 11. Jesus Christ. That's 11. That's plus 14 points of damage.
Boink.
That's
Okie
another spicy meatball.
dokie. All right, so that's pretty heavy. 14. Okay, cool. All
And
right.
it falls on an arm as well.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, so that is going to be that's a pretty heavy hit. You sort of whereabouts are you? Tell me how you do the shot. You're not killing him, but you've really damaged him. So tell me.
Well,
what you do.
it's another arm shot, so we obviously Flex pulling the staff out of him, and I'll just shoot at the same time. And while his arm's outstretched, maybe it shoots the.
Yeah, you
just to sort
you
of
your
retro
bolt
hit it a little bit.
your bolt fires true, and it goes straight through the elbow joint of his arm. His arm just gets blasted off at the elbow, and it just spins out. And it lands. It kind of lands. I'm actually going to draw it for you. So the arm lands like this, and then the hand is like there, and then there's one middle finger just like that. And it just lands. It lands like this. That's how it lands. His hand is curled up in clearly agony or something. And he goes, "Oh no, my arm! Now I don't fit half my suits!" And he just sort of starts screaming. Okay, that's your go. Del, it's now your round again, I believe.
Okie dokie. Do I get any evil sense from the staff that if I were to pick it up, something terrible would happen?
Make a willpower test, please.
Okay.
What's your willpower?
It is 38.
Okay, so roll against your willpower, 38. And there's no modifiers on this one. That is a 29. Okay,
Ooh.
cool. So your hand goes down to pick up the staff, and as it gets real close, you get this weird, like, feeling off it, and it just feels like it emanates fucking evil. Picking it up, although Fleck didn't grab it per se, he was just in his teeth, but if you were to pick it up, you just think it would just be a terrible, terrible idea. It is emanating pure fucking evil. And, well, you can pick it up if you want to, but it doesn't feel good. Let's put it that way.
Well, I want to get it to Ratty at some
Okay.
point.
I really do. I don't want it.
Are you gonna have that conversation? Ratty, the staff. No, I don't. I'm okay. Like you're all right.
What?
I'm good.
No.
I had a staff for lunch. I'm fine.
I got his hat. Look.
Look at his hat. You have the staff. It's fine. Okay.
It'd be big, it'd be woody, and I'd be afraid of it.
Okay. I'm not gonna pick it up, but it is away. Like you can't just like it's like you said, it's 20 meters away because
Yeah,
that's where that's
20
how
meters
far away I am.
Yeah.
All right. I would just like to take another shot at him.
Okay. That's fine.
I'll do another strike to stun just to,
Yeah.
why not?
Okay.
So I need 60. Do I have any other attributes? or anything?
No,
It's
it's
just straight.
it's just
seven?
a straight ballistic skill plus 5 for the Teddy special. 22 is a hit.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
And do I roll a d6?
Roll a D3, I think I said. Oh, actually, no. To be honest, I got that wrong last time. It's just one round of staggering because you're doing You're not hitting him with a blade, you're hitting him with an arrow, which is a little crazy. So I'm just going to say it's just 1 round to stagger automatically. So that's a hit. So you sort of fire it off again, and this time you whip his cloak. So his cloak gets like dragged this way. He goes, oh, and he gets spun around. Oh, no, I'm dizzy, I feel poorly. Oh, stop the ride, stop the ride. He's now sort of like spinning around, so he's out of control. He's
just a gradual, the humiliation.
Okay, so it is now. That's your go. So he's now staggered. Something happens though as you're sort of spinning him around. He sort of like a gem sort of flies off that was in his hand that he was holding. It just flies off ever so slightly and just smashed on the floor. And actually, this huge ball of cloud, like a huge puff of smoke almost, just erupts from his feet all around him and engulfs him and Quint. And it's just like a huge, massive, like ball of, like a cloud ball almost around him. Sorry, it doesn't come from a jewel. Sorry, it comes from his cloak. Like his cloak just suddenly goes, and just this huge cloud of smoke erupts around where the Leashmaster was and engulfs both him, the body of Ziggy, and also Quint. And you can't see any of them. They just like disappeared in this big mist cloud.
Okay.
Next up, I believe, is therefore Ratty, right?
Right. So he's disappeared into this cloud, yeah.
As has the Skaven and also the body of Ziggy. Yeah.
Right. I'm gonna.
Oh no, zombie Ziggy's coming our way.
I yell, for a Ziggy, and I'm gonna charge. I'm charging with my staff into the cloud.
Okay. Please roll initiative test minus 20.
You do have some funny jokes with me, Neil.
I know. So initiative minus 20. What's your initiative currently?
Hang on, I'm just trying to select.
So your initiative is 36. So it's a 16. You've got 16 initiative in the cloud, essentially.
I've got +5.
Sorry, 21 initiative in the cloud. My apologies.
How can I not select these 2 dice? Sorry.
Let me help you.
Don't move them. Don't move them. I'm drawing a box over them. My tabletop chugs on my laptop. It's not. I do not have a good laptop for this kind of thing.
47, that is a fail, but not a critical fail. Okay, so you sort of like charge in and you start swiping around, and it's like you're in the thickest pea super fog you've ever seen, and you swipe ineffectually. You sort of think you can see shapes and they disappear. You're pretty much confused, and you don't know really even where you are in the fog. You know you just ran into it, but you have no idea where anybody is. And you swipe around, but to no avail.
How big is this foggy area, man?
It's about. It's like the diameter. The diameter is about 12 to 15 feet. So in circumference, it's something like we'll do the math.
It's just literally around him and Ziggy. Like
no, it's where I've drawn these little circles. So it's kind of like this, basically. This is where the fog cloud has come out. It's quite big, and it's sort of erupted all around you. Yep, like that.
All right, got it.
Next up is therefore the Leashmaster doesn't have a go because he got stunned. The next up is Quint. Quint, you have to make a initiative test minus 20 in the cloud, please.
Okay, let's have a look here.
That is a critical failure. Okay, so you find the Leashmaster. You see the Leashmaster straight ahead of you, and you can make an attack on him if you wish.
I mean, I was going to anyway, irrespective of that result.
Okay, that's fine. So you can roll strength. You can roll a hit if you wish.
Let's have a look here. 1, 2, 3, and that. Nope, they're not rolling. One second. Let's grab that there. No, it's doing that thing again.
Okay.
Give me a second. Drop that. Move that like that. Okay. Grab those and do that. There we are.
That is an 80. That's a miss, right?
Yep.
Okay. So,
absolutely missed.
Tom, out of nowhere, this sword arcs forward, and you just manage to get out of the way. And you think on the sword handle is the hand of what looks to be like a really mangled, webbed hand of Quint, and this sword misses you by inches, but clearly he's attacking you presumably by mistake, and it comes very close to taking your head off.
I know I'm wearing his hat, but it's me.
Oh yeah, you're wearing on you. That's not helpful.
All right, cool. So you yell that out. Quint, you hear this. It's me. Right. I'm wearing his hat. Like that. And you thankfully, although you feel terrible about it, presumably, I guess, because you're a knight and everything.
Literal fog of war.
Yeah. And again, as soon as you sort of see Ratty's face go, it's me. Again, his sort of disappears into the fog. And both of you sort of like can't see each other again after that.
What, in the 15-foot area of fog?
In the what? In the what?
In the 15-foot area?
Yeah, the fog is so thick, you can only see like inches in front of your face. Like it's magical. Right. It's not a real one. It's not real fog, obviously. It's a magical fog. But you can't see anything. It's like mist, like so heavy you can't see through it properly. And you're sort of staggering around trying to hit something. That is Quint's go. You are not in combat, so you can't get a second attack, Quint, I'm going to say. Right. New round. Del, this huge, massive, weird, crazy, thick fog has erupted out of the cape of the Leash Master after he was last hit and has enveloped. You also hear Ratty like charging in. Then you hear this kind of "yeah" from Quint and this like Ratty screaming out, it's me, I'm reading it out, it's me. And you can't see anything into it. You can't see any people in the fog. It's just
I can't even see silhouettes or anything.
No, you can't see anything. Imagine like a big blanket of fog just erupting and just being almost weirdly solid but shifting at the same time. It's like that.
Is it moving now with the wind or anything? Like that?
No, it's not. It's moving, but it's not moving with the wind. Like no wind is shifting it left and right. It's just there. It's just like a big blanket of fog.
Okay. Well, I'm not going to fire into that.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know.
Join the party.
I mean, yeah, join the party.
I'm enjoying the party inside it. It's so much fun.
That'd be really funny if you all just wandering around. Marco Polo.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't debating picking up the stupid staff.
Yeah, sure.
Oh yeah.
If by him dropping it, drop the skeletons, one can only reason that if I were to pick it up, I could control the skeletons.
Presumably.
I would like to control a zombie Ziggy, please.
You really do not want to become a necromancer.
It's my villain era here, Tom.
It's like Hulk Hogan when he transitioned, you know? He became a hero and then transitioned to a villain because he got a
Hollywood Dell.
Hollywood Dell, that's exactly right. Oh my god, it's Hollywood Dell with a chair. She's coming up with a ladder, oh no! Yeah, it's like that.
With a steel chair!
She's got with a steel chair with a 2x4, no! Yeah, it's like that. It's Hollywood Dell.
I don't know. I don't think I do anything. I don't want to get in that. Sorry.
You can use your free action to say anything.
I mean, get the hell out of the fog, like back up, right. Or follow my voice, and maybe we all group together so that they have a directional point.
Okay.
If they wish.
Yeah, you can say that if you wish to.
Yeah, I would like to say, if you can hear me, follow my voice.
All right.
Get out of the fog.
Okay, cool. That's what you hear. Okay.
That's pretty useful, thank you.
Okay, so next round, Quint, you are going to... You get hit out of nowhere by something. It's clearly a sword. It slashes out of nowhere. And it's that Bruce Lee moment where it just sort of slashes against like his back, like the claw stuff and the mirror thing. Yeah. It's kind of like that. It kind of comes out of nowhere, slashes you, and then disappears again into the fog. Right. It is going to hit you. It's going to hit you for... I'm just rolling everything at the same time, why not? It's going to hit you for 9 points of damage across your back, which is a body shot.
Okay, cool. Is there any armor to be taken into that, or not?
Armor is taken into it, yep.
Okay. Also, I still have this box. Does that do anything against physical attacks?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, it doesn't. Right. Actually, doesn't. Your sort of theory about what that box can do in terms of protection with you seems to not be affected by this at all. Yeah.
Okay.
So that's 9 minus your strength and minus any armor you have.
Yeah. Sorry, isn't it toughness?
Oh,
Yeah?
sorry, your toughness. Sorry, not strength. Yeah. Okay.
Cool. Okay, so that's 9, 8, 7, 6. So that puts me on 2. Okay.
Okay, cool. Okay, you're down to 2 wounds. It is now a... What were we at 2? So it's usually... would it be Rascals? I missed Pete again. So Pete, what do you want to do, sir? This cloud has erupted. You can't see anything. There's no targets to fire on us.
Yeah, push him out of the cloud, guys. Get him out of there so I can shoot him again. But I'm just going to hold my shot for now.
Okay, so you're aiming, essentially.
Yes, but I think aiming's... Yeah.
You should all whip out a little dagger and join the party. It seems like a lot of fun in there.
No. Not a chance.
All right. Okay, cool. So you're starting to aim. So you get plus 10. You'll get plus 10 only. It's not cumulative. Normally it'd be cumulative.
I'm going to hold it for the round, Neil. I'm not going to aim.
Okay,
if
sure.
anyone pops out later in the turn, I might be able to take a shot at them.
All right, cool.
So basically holding my initiative.
Okie dokie. So just very quickly, Quint, how many points of damage did you just take? Did you receive?
I took 6.
You took 6. Okay, cool.
Oh, he's going to heal from it, isn't he? Yeah.
Okie dokie. Cool, thank you very much. So that's your go as well. Rattigan, it is now your go. Please make an initiative test, minus 20.
Why?
Because you're trying to find a target in the fog.
I was about to ask if I can do some kind of... Because I've got meditate as a skill. I was wondering if I could do some kind of using my senses to...
You can use... do you have magic sense?
I've got magic sense, yes!
Yeah, okay. You can make a magic sense roll, which is a willpower test. You're not going to get any bonuses to it.
But is that better than... That's better than initiative minus 20, which is 6.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Have you not got Gust of Wind, Tom? You can blow this cloud away.
I've not got Gust of Wind, unfortunately.
No,
it's hilarious, because you better believe if I had it, I would be doing it fart-wise.
Slightly smelly.
I'll brew one up.
Okay, I'm rolling.
That is 100. That is a total miss.
Jesus.
Right.
Again, the crit failures.
So you see the Leashmaster, or what you think, you see an outline of a body ahead of you. And it's sort of like traveling towards you, getting closer and closer. You don't know who it is, but it's definitely, you see something. And it's coming straight towards you, like charging at you almost.
So I better dodge. Can I dodge or what?
You can try and dodge out the way. Initiative test, if you wish.
Back to fearing these dice again.
Initiative is normal, by the way, for dodging. It's like you're just jumping out of the way, so it's about reflexes, not about what you can see.
Oh, shit. Sorry, the lag on these dice is still...
no worries.
Trying to select both of them. No, don't pick up one.
I'm not picking them up, I'm just caressing
No,
them.
I know, for some reason, the lag, I'm trying to draw a box to select them both, and it's just picking up one.
There you go.
All right, here we go.
58, that's a failure on your normal initiative. All right.
Yeah, I fail, so I...
All right, so you sort of don't dodge out of the way. In fact, if anything, sort of you sort of dodge one way. The person seems... The figure is also dodging the same way. And actually, out of nowhere, the Skaven sort of like erupts out of the fog. And both of you go like, rah! And you both knock into each other and collapse on the ground and roll away. So you are now very lost in the mist. You have zero idea where you are, and you're going to have you, Tom, are going to have an extra -5 to your initiative because you're completely like lost in this mist now. So that's your critical failure, is a -5. So you might -25 to your initiatives, which means you've got an initiative effective of 11, trying to find a target, the right target, I would say. The Skaven isn't affected per se, but you are, because that's your failure. Okay, so one extra thing is going to happen. Tom, you get a sense when you land, you sort of get a sense of another figure coming towards you. I just rolled the wrong dice. You sort of instantly roll away, you like instinctively roll away. And this sword out of nowhere flashes down and smacks to the ground. The last thing you see is this blackened sword as it goes into the ground next to you as you roll away into the mist, which also protects you a little bit. And some other figure seems to have tried to attack you, presumably the Leashmaster. Has missed you, which is good. That is now your round gone. Quint, it's now your go. So it's initiative -20. Try and find this particular leash master, little bastard.
Right, okay. Tom, I'm thinking this is ridiculous. We're just going to get cut to ribbons here.
You can say this if you want out loud.
I'm thinking that I need to pick up the magic
You
use and get him out of
you
here.
have to roll with this dude because you can't confer on this stuff. It's a free action.
Okay.
It's a free action.
Master Rattigan, we're getting cut to ribbons here. I think we must retreat until this blows over so everyone can shoot this one-handed fool again.
Well,
I'm sort of winded on the floor, aren't I?
No, you're not winded. You're fine. It's just that you almost got attacked by something.
I was about to say that I give him a thumbs up, but he won't be able to see it.
You can do that anyway, and then realise you can't see that.
Yeah. That's exactly what happens. Stick a thumbs up, and then I'm like, "Oh yeah, you can't see me."
Thumbs up.
We got to get out of this. Yeah, you're right. You're right. Okay.
right, okay. I am going to grab the wizard because I've just smashed into him. So I know exactly where he is.
You're going to have to make an initiative test to find him because you smashed into him and then fell apart.
Okay.
I'm not kidding. When your characters can only see a couple of inches in front of your face, I'm not kidding. It's that thick.
Right.
It's unusual. It's unnaturally thick. So initiative test to try and find him again. That is 100. Okay. So I'm going to say that you basically grab him. You grab hold of something. You see like an arm or see like a bit of cloth. You grab it, and immediately you're sort of come face to face with the leash master, and he's going to do. It's not going to be a full attack on you. But it is going to be a certain amount. You know, he's going to attack you and hit you with.
Well, hang on, isn't he stunned? Isn't he still stunned? This is the same round.
It's a different round, new round.
Are you sure?
Yeah, positive.
Okay.
Well, even if it's not, this is a critical failure, so I have to sort of make this justified in some way or another. Yep. So he's going to hit you. He sort of does a reflex hit with the pommel of his sword. It's going to give you. It's going to give you one. I'm going to say one wound because. You've got toughness and armor and all that stuff, so it's going to give you an automatic wound. Let's call it a risk test. So it's going to give you an automatic. He just bonks you on the head with the pommel of his sword, and you sort of fall back into the fog again.
Okay.
So it's 1 point of damage, nothing else, but irrespective of toughness and armor and stuff. Yeah. So you're down to, I guess, 1 now, right?
Yep.
Okay. So you sort of bonk in. It was pretty scary as well, but luckily you didn't do any like substantial damage or kill you or anything. Cool. Okay, that's
not yet.
That's your go. New round. Del, you notice that on the corners of this cloud, it is starting to dissipate. The cloud is definitely getting thinner. Like you can sort of see that there's less of it, if that makes sense. So within a round or so, this thing's going to disappear. It's not going to be there too long. What do you want to do?
I genuinely don't think I can do anything.
Okay,
so
sure.
I'm trying to rack my brain, but I'm ranged, and I'm not going to take the chance that, I would kill Ratty or something.
If that makes you feel better, I'm okay with that risk.
A giant fan on you.
I would think that if they're on the ground, but I wouldn't know that they're on the ground.
You don't know that. You can hear them talk. Everything they say you can hear. You just can't see
Have you
them.
got a pair of bellows?
Really big horn.
You got a really big fan, or even that you could just waft.
We have a rat that can make a stink.
He can smell stuff, Carly. He's got smelling.
No, I mean like he can when he's scared, right? He's got the
musk of fear. I totally forgot about the musk of fear. The musk of fear.
So
I tell you, in fact, Quint, actually, Clem, you got to make 2 tests. One is to one is to keep hold of the box. The other one is to squirt the musk of fear. So let's say initiative test first, normal initiative, to hold on to the box.
Lord.
That is a success. So you hold on to the box, the Archaeotica. Next, you need to make a cool test. Otherwise, you're going to squirt the musk of fear. That is a failure. So the musk of fear is squirted. Ratty, you don't get hit by the musk of fear. You definitely get a whiff of it. It's pretty stinky.
Can I make the case that at this point we are building a tolerance to this, whereas the leech master does not?
He's only been doing this for like a day or so. Like you have no tolerance. It's like getting used to stink bombs or a
We've
skunk.
had this like 4 times.
It's like a skunk. Do you ever get used to a skunk's bum? Not really. I mean, skunk's a skunk's a skunk.
Skunk does.
A skunk does, which is why Quint's unaffected by his own musk, because it's his musk. No, you squirt the musk of fear. It's pretty nasty stuff. It's a little fishy this time, I'm gonna say, because you've been living.
But does it help dissipate the fog?
No, if anything, it makes it just very smelly.
No, it's slightly tinged green.
It's slightly a green tinge. Yeah, you notice that there's like part of the fog now just goes really green for some reason. It's like throbbing, and you hear this from Tom from Ratty. Ratty, no damage is done to you in the musk, but it's pretty smelly. Okay, that's I guess that's your round. So. Teddy, again, it's your go. I don't know if you want to do anything particularly.
And nothing's.
No, but you see the fog is dissipating though.
Yeah, we're still just sort of holding and hiding behind my cover just in case of.
Make an initiative test, I would say, actually.
Where's the dice one?
Don't shoot the rat or the guy in the hat.
Shoot the rat! Kill them! Kill the rat! Shoot the rat!
What was that? That was weird.
Okay.
That is a 13. Okay, cool. So you actually see, sort of flying back, almost, not quite, but almost out the cloud, you see Quint, who's like on his back and scrambles up to his feet, and he's just right on the edge of the fog cloud, still holding the Archaeotica. He's sort of like there, he's looking around real quick, like he suddenly got super upset about something, he's super scared about something. And you hear this, and you just sort of see this little green... Well, you don't see it, but you sort of feel the fact that he just farted. But you can see the back of him now, almost like a shadowy silhouette in the fog. So you can definitely see where he is. What do you want to do with that? You've got an action still you can take.
Be far away to kind of grab.
No, you could grab him. You can grab and drag him out if you want.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I'm running and sort of.
Right.
Quick,
make
an
initiative test so he doesn't. You grab him without freaking him out, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Otherwise, he might just.
With that more dropping, yeah.
Yeah, well, he might attack you, I guess.
Oh no, 90. That's a fail.
90. Okay, so Quint, you get grabbed from behind. Please, can you make? I'm going to say that you have to make an initiative test. Otherwise, you're going to sort of lash out at whatever's attacking you. So I think that's sort of fair, really. So make an initiative test. That is a success. It's a critical success. Okay, so Teddy sort of like tries to wrestle you out, and as his hands get towards you back, you whip around with like combat alacrity, and you grab his hand and you step out of the fog with him, and you can say to him,
Master Rattigan is still in there. I fear if this fog doesn't dissipate, he might die.
And actually, your sudden movements have actually like moved some of the fog around, so actually reduced some of the fog. So where you were standing is now clear, as it were.
Cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm just looking forward to having my dodge back.
yeah, exactly.
Bloody hell.
That's partly why I don't want to get in the cloud as well. It's just like
Okay, so that's your goes over. Next up is the Leash Master, I believe. Oh, that's interesting. Wow.
No,
What's with the musk with the Leash Master?
The Leash Master is undead and has no nose. It doesn't affect the undead.
How does he smell?
You motherfuckers! You were waiting for
me.
that. There you go. All right. So the Leash Master is going to do something. So Ratty, again, the sword comes down and swishes past you, but again, somehow, fate of the gods, perhaps, you manage to sort of dive into the cloud a bit further and avoid the blow. At the same time, you also feel out of nowhere another sword comes out to your right this time, and again you manage to just at the last moment dive back into the cloud and avoid yet another blow. However, you don't know where it comes from. Now there seem to be two swords flashing at you.
There's only one place that sword can come from, and I don't like it.
So Ratty, it's now your go, sir. The last sword actually, it didn't hurt you, but it clipped through your armor and it sort of spun you around again, like this. Doesn't do any damage, but it sort of clipped you a little bit and spins you around to your knees.
It's at this point in the proceedings that a certain fear takes over me. It's not the kind of fear that had me sad and crying, hiding behind the tree. It's kind of a mixture of adrenaline and shock and concern that I'm still unable to see anything and swords are jabbing at me. And something happens to me, a sort of combination of all the things that I've been through, that experience where I sort of saw the face of Tal and kind of turned into Bob Ross for a while.
Yeah, that was a great episode.
My affinity with animals, my affinity with the ferrets, coalesces into an idea in my head, because I need to move fast and I need to be agile and I need to get out there. So at that moment, I reach into my pocket and I say to Spidge, just need to borrow a little bit of your fuzz. And I pull a couple of little hairs from Spidge's back.
Spidge just goes, oh, like that.
Well, that's good of him. And I hold them tight into my hand, and I imagine that I'm changing into a new shape that is faster and more capable of getting out of this situation. And I channel my magic into that.
Nice.
And I go, here we go. This is gonna be a big one. And I change into some at that moment. I need to figure out how many magic points this is going to cost, and we'll have to discuss that.
What are you doing? You're changing into an animal of some kind.
Basically, I've got shapeshifter animal spell. I'm going to take on as one of the spells I took on as my development.
Nice. Okay, cool.
So, and at that moment, I'll sort of. So yeah, I shift shape. I sprout fur all over me. I
nice
out of my.
You bastard! You've got fur.
I guess I lose my clothing. Like
if you're turning into an animal, you're probably like you won't burst into you'll probably Hulk your clothing a little bit, but not like in a bad way or anything.
And I'm trying to build to a reveal here. So, at that moment, I snake forward through, and I just head straight in a direction towards the voices that I can hear outside of the fog.
Yeah.
Like the voices of my friends.
Yeah.
And as I reach the edge of the fog, do I need to do initiative for anything of that, or
no? I think the spell itself will sort of convey the sense of what you're doing. That's fine.
So as I reach the edge of the fog, I stand up straight, and they will see me in a new form, and I basically look like a 6 foot tall stoat.
I have no model to cover that. You realise this? Okay. Well, we'll just use this. So you sort of you stagger out this way, and you just go.
A weasel, actually, a weasel. Sorry,
a weasel. Okay.
Yeah.
So you sort of stagger out, and now Ratty now looks like a 6 foot long weasel, and just goes like that.
With my two ferrets either side of me.
With your two ferrets either side. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. And he's got a little. He's got a little, and he's still got the wizard hat on him as well. But he just slinks out of the fog to the side next to Quint and to Teddy, and he's got a little wizard hat and this huge fuck off massive. Is it a stoat? Right? You said stoat.
A minor Disney film.
Sorry, hang on, Clint. What do you say? A weasel. Okay, so this weasel sort of slinks out of the fog. A mega weasel just slinks out of the fog with this little wizard's hat and just goes like that and just points back into the fog.
Oh, Ratty, what has he done to you, the bastard? We'll get rid of him.
All right, cool. So you're now a fucking mega weasel. All right, I'm gonna say your movement is what's your movement initially? Is it 3 or 4 or something?
It's 4.
Okay, so your movement is now 6. Weapon skill is the same. Ballistic skill is 0. Your strength is the same. Your toughness is the same, but your wounds are. What's your maximum wounds again?
My maximum wounds, I think, is 8 or 9.
So I'm going to say your maximum wounds are now 12, which you now go up to 12.
I get plus 3 wounds.
Yeah, basically plus 3 wounds. Your attacks are 2, because you now have a bite attack and a claw attack. But you've had to drop all of your possessions where you transformed, so it's still in the cloud, whatever you owned. Okay. Although Noodle and Mr. Spidge are with you.
So obviously I can't cast spells or anything like that.
No, you can't cast spells, and also your leadership, your dexterity is the same, but your leadership, your intelligence is the same. Obviously, your cool is the same, willpower is the same. Leadership is like next to 0. Your fellowship is almost 0 as well, because you're basically fuck off huge.
Would I be higher active in dex, like being a speedy fucking
what you
weasel?
are going to get is you can swim at your movement rate, and you can your dexterity. Yeah, I guess your dexterity can get a plus 20 here because you can now climb up. You're really nimble, and your initiative can probably get a plus. What is your initiative? 36 or something, right? Your initiative is now 50. So initiative, you can get plus 15 to initiative and dexterity, let's say. But this is temporary during your stoat form for this spell.
And do I have to be using magic points to...
I'm going to say it's a good 4 magic points to do this, dude. That's a big fucking spell. So
do I have to keep spending them to...
No, let's say it lasts for... Until we get the rules sorted out, because you've just sprung this on me. Roll a d6. I will allow it. I think it's really cool.
This is basically based on... druid spell, like they can turn into bears or wolves.
Yeah, no, I get it. But because you're forcing this,
instead.
Because you're forcing this, I'm going to give you let's say you're going to give 2d4 rounds of combat. You can sustain this form on just the 4 magic points. All right. So roll 2d4, and this will just
hang on. I need to take the magic points off first.
Yeah.
The slowness, the way tabletop thing chugs on my machine, it's crazy. Right. Okay, that's gone. Right, where D4. I can't see any D4. Oh yeah, there's one. Sorry. Alright, I'm just gonna roll this one twice. Fuck it.
Yeah.
4.
Yeah. 4. That's 8 rounds of combat you can sustain that for. It's
Weasel forever.
You'll be fine, basically. Okay.
Weasel for life.
All right, Weasels for life. Weasel for life. All right, cool. So that is now your go over. Quint, it is now your go.
Okay, so right. I'm going to make a bit of a rash, a bit of a rash thing here. The fact that the giant weasel in front of me is in the Lishmaster's hat, which I saw was actually pulled off and put on my Ratty. Yeah. I'm going to make the brash assumption that that's now Ratty.
Yeah.
Does that seem fair?
Yeah, totally fair enough. It's completely fair enough. Because he even told you I'm wearing his hat, so it makes sense.
Yeah.
What do you want to do?
Okay, do we see anything of the Lichmaster actually in the cloud? Because I'm not going back in there, I'll tell you that much.
No, the cloud is dissipating, though. You can tell it's basically reducing, and the cloud is getting smaller. Yeah.
Have you got your ranged weapons at all?
No, I don't, no. But I'd like to know exactly where I am. Where exactly am I?
You are literally here. You're next to Teddy, and you have the hatted weasel left as well there. So this is where you actually are. So you're about 10 yards away from the cloud, maybe slightly less, 8 yards from the cloud, basically.
Okay, and I've got a nasty feeling that the undead skeleton with bows fell over at the opposite side of this cloud.
No,
so that's not going to happen.
The undead skeletons are all gone. All of the skeletons are done now, so they just collapsed into a heap.
Yeah, I know, but I'm interested in the ones who had bows because the bows are still going to be there.
Pass.
Okay. I'm assuming not.
Sure.
Okay. I am going to wait till I have a target to hit.
Okay, so you're sort of combat ready, like drawing to a low
Yeah.
stance with your shield out and your sword behind. Alright, cool. Okay,
Absolutely.
So at that point, so you'll go, that means I've skipped this thing. I guess I've skipped that. Okay, so which means out of the cloud, a green fireball comes out and hits and goes towards you, Quint.
Okay.
So please, you can roll initiative test and you can take all your armor and toughness off. It is going to hit you for that is going to be 5 points of damage.
Box no use?
Sorry?
Box no use?
What do you mean box no use?
The box. The
box. No, the
art.
box is no use to this. No.
Okay.
The box is no use at all defensively. You were wrong.
No, it's useful, just not particularly against this target.
Why are the dice floating in midair?
No,
Is anyone seeing this?
don't know. There's a slight lag there for a second.
Okay, so that's initiative, yeah?
Yeah, so that's a failure, I believe.
Yeah. I don't get to dodge this, no?
Huh?
To use dodge skill.
No,
I
you
don't
have
get
to
to use your dodge
That
skill
was your
against this.
dodge.
Okay, cool.
Oh wow, I think I just lost. Hang on a second. I think we just lost the game.
Yep, we did.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we did.
Hang on one second, folks. I'm just going to restart it. Sorry about this. Wow, that was so dramatic. It killed the game. Hang on, folks. Sorry, we all have to join in again. Folks, we're just going to take a 2-second hiatus while we recreate the game again. If anybody wants to talk us through this, that would really help. Because I also need a desperately quick toilet break. We're going slightly longer because this is phenomenally, folks.
Boy.
It'll take me 2 minutes. By the time this thing loads up, I'll be back. But just literally, I'm using Kegel exercises to the point where my Kegels don't seem to work anymore. All right, we're back in again. And the table should be back up again. I'm going to be 2 minutes. You may use this opportunity to talk amongst yourselves about what the hell you're going to be doing and how you're going to find us back. We're back again. It's fine. So yeah, you can take this moment to confer amongst yourselves, i.e. shouting to each other what's going to happen. I'll be right back.
Okay, I do want to shout to Radigan. What happens? Oh, wait, he can't freaking talk. He's a weasel. Okay, wait. I wanted to ask, what happens if I pick up this staff? Can you motion head nod?
I want to petition. I want to petition Neil for me to be able to talk while I'm in this form. I think it'll be extra fun, but yeah, I'm gonna have to wait until he comes back. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to be spending the rest of this combat lying on the floor smoking gently because that hit probably takes me about to -2. So yeah, somebody else is going to have to kill this dude because I'm going to be out of it.
Don't have fate points. You're not going to use the fate point.
I could. They're there to be
How
spent.
many have you got?
I've got one.
I mean,
Can I find out how bad it's? Can I find out how bad it's going to be first, then decide whether to spend the fate point? How about that? Yeah.
yeah.
Also, let's let Neil have his fun, eh? He's going to enjoy this.
I mean, I don't think Neil won't feel accomplished if he doesn't take at least one fate point from us.
He's got to have one, hasn't he? He's got to have one. You know, it's fine. It's fine.
I'm feeling good. I got animal care, so I can. I can patch you and the weasel up.
Just avenge me! Avenge me!
We have a very rodent-based party.
Back again. Hi, folks. So we are back. Sorry about that, folks. A little temporary interlude. So back into it. Whose go is it? I completely lost track of what the fuck's going on.
I was about to get hit by a fireball, Neil.
Yes, you're hit by a fireball. So that's 5 points damage, minusing toughness and also any armor, I guess, that you have in your chest.
Right, okay.
Shield, haven't you, Quinn?
I do, but I was holding the box.
You're holding
so
the box,
I wasn't
not
using
the
it.
shield. Yeah, so you don't get the shield point now. What are you on now, sir?
Okay. I am on -2 for toughness. That's 4/3. Body armor. That's 2. That takes me to -1 again.
Okay, this is the second time you're on -1. I'm going to have to make you roll a critical hit table.
That's absolutely fine.
So please roll a D. Oh no, I roll a D100. No, or do you roll a D100?
Yeah.
I think I do.
No, I think the GM does.
Okay, I think I do on this one. Okay, so cool. So you are going to That is that's not good. All right, so basically everybody else sees this sort of green fireball lurch out of this dissipating fog. It hits Quint straight into the chest and lifts him up off his feet. It actually, okay, so actually what it actually does is it blows straight through Quint's chest and lifts his body up into the air and smashes him straight into the air and blows a great hole, spraying Teddy's behind him with blood, viscera, and muscle as his heart and his chest cavity is erupted out all over Teddy. Which is why Teddy's now quit the game. Now this is a fate point moment, folks. You're going to have to spend a fate point because that was a huge critical hit on you, an 82 in fact.
Yeah, you're telling us.
Yeah, so
I was going to say, do you accept fate points?
I do accept fate points. If you'd like to come your way over to here. Where is your fate point actually? I'm going to get your fate point.
I never got mine put on the table.
Sorry, you do have a fate point.
Just the one.
Just the one. This is your box. Where's your box gone? It's disappeared. Okay, well, there's your fate point. If you'd like to come over here and place it into Sad Neil.
Feed Sad Neil.
Yum yum yum. Feed Sad Neil. Feed him. Feed him.
This hurts the rat.
So where's your fate point? So you haven't given me your fate point. I'm going to take. You know what? I'm going to do it for you. I'm going to take your fate point over here.
Yes, because I don't have. Yeah.
I'm going to eat your fate point. This is Sad Neil, the god of fate points. He's going to eat his first fate point in some time. He's very hungry. And 3, 2, 1. There you go. Great. Okay. So fate point rewinds time. And the fireball leaps out, and actually, the last minute, you manage to get the box, the Arca Chaotica, up, and it literally ricochets the green bolt into the tree and explodes the tree around you. And it just vaporizes the tree, so it's just like a tree trunk. So somehow you've managed to avoid that spell. But it would have nearly killed you, quite easily killed you. You now have 0 fate points, but you have your health. You don't take any health off. So whatever health you're on -1 goes back to, was it 2 you were on, I think?
I think it was on 2, yes.
You're on 2, yeah. So you're back onto 2 now. So that never happened, basically. At this point, also, the fog dissipates. You see 2 characters standing in front of you. One is the leash master, who's looking pretty fucked up, but he's sort of like back on his feet. The other one is actually the body, the zombified body of Corporal Ziggy Hauptmann. Captain Empire is now Captain Zombie, and he's just sort of standing there going with his sword and shield, his blackened sword and shield out, and he's looking very dopey and very like rigid. So he doesn't look anywhere near as effectual, but they're both sort of standing there in front of you. The whole group can now see these 2 figures. Was your round, Quint. So I think now it is now back to Del. Del, it's your turn.
Okay. I really want to pick up this staff, man.
Staff.
Do it. Hang on a second.
I don't have any more fate points, so just want to let you know that now, yeah? That was it. That's all my freebies.
Del has to spend her own fate points on herself.
So what are you gonna do? What's your plan?
Yeah. All right. You know what? I'm gonna. I got 1 shot at this, so I would like to. We talked about a while ago. I could do like multiple arrows at once.
We talked about that. Yeah. We haven't tried it yet.
Should I try 2 shots into Ziggy's head?
Yeah, so or if I can make a friendly suggestion, the leash master seems to be controlling Ziggy. So
okay, I can be petty later.
Yeah, so this is like Robin Hood Prince of Thieves moment where you put 2 fucking arrows on 1 string and somehow dynamically that fucking works. So it's going to be you're going to have so it's a 2 shot, both hitting the same target. You get a minus. I'm going to say minus. Oh man, I don't even have to do this. -5 because you have marksmanship. So it's -5 to your ballistic skill, but if you get 2 hits at the same time.
Okay.
So what's your ballistic skill?
It would be 62.
Okay, so hit it.
I did.
What do you get?
22.
Oh, nice.
22.
Okay, that's a hit. Okay, so you get 2 independent hits. Very well done. 2 independent hits, so you roll them individually. If you get a 6 on either, that's a critical, so you roll it again. And then you treat them as 2 separate hits. Okay. So the first one,
sorry.
That's a 1. That's a 5. Okay, that's cool. Yeah, and then the second hit is a 6. It's critical. So roll that again. Roll that again.
Ooh, this is the shot we needed.
Yeah, exactly. And that's a 3, that's a 9, 10, 11, 12. Jesus. That's a 5 and a 12. Okay, so that's 5, so that's down to this. And then a 12, which is going to be fucking hell. Okay, so you hit him, you really fucking knock the wind out of him. Like, these two things thud straight into his body. And he sort of staggers down to one knee. And he just goes, oh, my appendix. Oh, I don't have appendix. Just have bones. That's my appendix would have been, you bastard. And he just goes down to one knee. Ziggy starts like flailing around. And actually, I'm going to make a test for him. But it's a hugely heavy hit. And it sort of knocks the leash master down. Ziggy actually stumbles a little bit, but then picks up his sword and sort of carries on, slowly shambling towards the other group. But he seems to be slightly affected by that shot, but it's still shambling. The leash master looks completely fucked up, though, but both arrows are now sticking out of him. That is your round. Next up, Pete, although we've been skipping around, sorry about that, Pete. It's now your go, but that was worth it.
I'm just about logging back in by the computer. Sorry, my laptop died.
That's okay. What do you want to do, sir? Because you're right here now. Okay, cool.
Well, if we've got line of sight to him, then I will be shooting at him. It's going to take me a while to load.
Okay.
Do you want to roll for me now?
Yeah, I can roll for you. Okay, so it's going to roll for you. So that is a 98.
Oh boy.
I'm going to do a wrist test for your slingshot, sir. Actually, I'm going to say it's a wrist test for you.
No.
Yeah, sorry about that. That is okay. You literally you sort of pull back your slingshot and you stretch it like almost too far. Like the last hit that you got basically has damaged it, and it just snaps in half as you try and fire it out. So your slingshot is now no more. Your awesome orb weaver. You can repair it, but it's basically damaged. You can't use it in this fight anymore.
Wow.
So sort of, it just breaks, and you're like, "Fuck!" Like the string breaks or something. Like, maybe the structure is okay, but the string itself just snaps. Blame the laptop. That's fine. That's your go. Next up is going to be therefore the leash master, he's pretty fucking wounded. He's staggering around. He sort of like tries to get some ingredients out of his pouch, and he sort of like he dropped some ingredients. He's trying to pick up some more. So instead, he sort of just turns and goes ah, and he just launches straight at I'm going to say straight at Teddy, and he just charges straight at you and tries to make a hit on you. Because you've been causing him a lot of pain in the ass. He's also seen that you're vulnerable now. That's a hit. He's going to hit you for 6 points of damage, and that's going to be 41. No,
just dodged it.
Great. So you roll out the way as his sword comes down. He's now technically in combat with Quint, with you, and also with Ratty as well.
Dope boy.
Yeah, so he sort of charged in that very advisedly. Next up is going to be Ratty, actually.
I'm going to snap at him and try and bite his throat out.
Cool.
Nice.
I'm going to give you an increase to your weapon skill as well. So it's 50 now. I think your weapon skill is usually 41, right, or something like that.
My weapon skill is 43.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to increase it to 50 as your were-stoke cat creature, because you're a bit more nimble and agile, so you can probably bite a bit quicker. You've got 2 attacks because you've got a bite attack and a claw attack. Same.
Do they run at the same time, or
no? You get the first one at initiative 50 in the order, and then at initiative 25 in the order, which will be after Quint. You get your second attack. That's how 2 attacks work. It's effective strength, effective initiative.
Sure, yeah.
So your first attack is a 50. Yeah, you got 50 or under.
All right, I'm trying to pick up the dice. Here we go.
May the best animal win.
We need to work on your stoat noises as well. That's a hit. So it's a bite attack, which is a strength 4 hit plus d6.
Hang on. Rolling.
That's 1. So that's 5 points of damage. That's okay. It does. You start biting onto his leg, and he's like, "Ah, get off, you hairy, flea-bitten hippie!" And starts kicking away at you. But you do some damage. You start gnawing at his leg a little bit, like that. That is your first attack. Next is in order is going to be Quint.
Right. Let's see what we can do here.
78 is a miss. Okay, so you miss. This is now Tom's second attack. And then it's going to be Quint's.
How many wounds does this guy have? This is
all of them, Tom.
Yeah.
Every time. Well, I'll tell you about the mechanics later. But there's a reason why he's sort of regaining things. It's not dragging. It's fucking dramatic. Deal with it. Okay, roll your attack, sir. It's your second attack. This is meat and potatoes RPG combat, sir. This is awesome. Say yes in chat if you all agree. It's mainly you not being able to pick up the dice quickly. That's a hit, sir.
41 is a hit as well.
Okay, roll your
All
dice.
right, come on, roll a 6 and let's finish this fucker.
It's only because you're getting sleepy.
Yes.
That's a 3 plus 4. That's 7. Okay, so you sort of like start gnawing again.
Yeah, I nibble at him. All right, he's got a million hit points. Great. Let's keep moving.
Jesus. How old are you, sir? All right, so
I gave you a cliffhanger at 10 o'clock, Neil, and you sailed past it.
It's not cliffhanger. We need to finish it. It's the fucking finale. It's been going on for 4 fucking episodes. I'm done with this.
Well, maybe just knock some hit points off.
I am. It's so close, but you need to earn that shit, sir. You need to earn it. Okay, Quint, it's your second attack. Let's fucking do it. Come on, buddy.
Okay.
That's a 94. Come on, Quint. What are you doing? New round.
It's my fault.
You slash out again. The Leashmaster, although he's had his leg being like nibbled on by a fucking enormous toe, he's just standing there going, nah! He just puts his sword out and catches you. Del, you have a prime position to shoot this motherfucker in the back.
Hold on, he's got 2 attacks as well, don't forget.
No, he doesn't. He only has one.
Quint's only got 1.
No, I've already had mine.
He's already had his first
attack,
one. That's his second attack.
Yeah.
Oh, and Tom had his second attack as well.
Yes, he did.
Yeah.
So Del, this is your go. So your go.
All right.
Please do it, Mom.
I would like to do what I did before. 2 arrows.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's fine.
Oh Lord. Okay. Do I have any penalty? Sorry, you said -5 last time.
-5. That's it. Yeah. But then actually, it's a straight ballistic skill because you still got a Teddy special, so it's just your ballistic skill. Yeah.
Okay. Oh boy.
55.
Yeah.
That's a hit.
Excellent.
All right. So 2d6.
Pin cushion him.
Oh my god. That's a 1. That's a 5. Yep. And roll the other one.
Oh, sorry, I rolled the same.
No, it doesn't matter. It's fine. Okay, cool. That is gonna. Yes, that's it. Okay, so please tell me with your 2 arrows how you finally, thank God, dispatch the Leashmaster nemesis. What's going on? How does this happen?
He turns his head to me because he realized he has like a pending doom feeling, and I get him both eyes.
What's that?
Nice.
What's that? I better peep over here.
No! And they just go. They go into his brain and goes, ah! And he starts doing this like he starts going round and round. No, it can't end like this. How embarrassing, socially awkward. Without a hat or anything, my comb over. And he just he basically just stands still and goes, no! And he explodes and just showers bone meal. Or it's like kind of like the marshmallow ending of Ghostbusters. You'll just get covered in all this white film of powder as he just goes, no! And just explodes all over you. Zombie Ziggy at that point just crashes to his knees and collapses into a heap. And you see the other skeletons that were the 2 other skeletons over here that were in the heaps. They all just literally crumble into dust. His voice echoes out, no, across the whole valley. And you sort of see this green and red smoke billowing out of his now still corpse. And it travels towards the direction of La Maison Tau. And again, it sort of swirls over the edge, you can see in the distance, and then sort of flies back towards the Frugalhorn Mountain. And you just hear this one last scream of, what a world, what a world, what a world, what a world, as it dissipates into the distance. You stand there, all breathing heavy, cut from lacerations and wounds all over you. You look to one another somehow, and then you look to the enormous fucking stoat that's on the side there, and you start walking. The weasel. You walk towards each other very slowly. Scooter sort of comes up as well, and you sort of stand in this sort of semicircle around the decayed wreckage of what was once the Leashmaster. Somehow you've won the day, and you get a great sense that your actions here have had ramifications that you can't even possibly imagine. But for once, the Vagabonds, this wayward group of motley crew, have become the heroes that you're all destined to be. And anybody want to say anything, by the way, at this point?
I say, I'm naked.
Yeah, it's suddenly you flip back and actually Tom's just standing there, completely butt naked, lying on the ground with his face just above the mud line, and he just goes, I'm naked, like that. He's just reverted back instantly to a human form. And he's completely butt naked. His clothes are in the pile in the middle there. You're free to talk, folks. You're free to talk.
I feel like I need to sit down. I need like a beer or something.
I need a drink. That was grueling.
All right.
Guys, mind if I go and ransack his yurt?
Yeah, you can go ransack his yurt.
I fear, Master Teddy, that most of the things you will find in here will be fairly evil.
Still 7.
Yeah,
Like, that sounds like a challenge.
Do as you wish.
he's got into his yurt.
He's already rooting around in the chests or whatever is in there.
As you all stand there, sort of talking slightly inanely, let's be honest, you notice that the clouds that have been formed above, the sort of like the storm that has been brewing for some time, has dissipated, and you're left with this incredibly beautiful pinkish, orangey kind of dawn that's erupting from the sides of the mountaintops. And it's coming down and floods the sort of clearing and the woodland that you're in with this beautiful huey light, almost comforting and warm. As you turn to each other, sort of your cuts and lacerations, you sort of look at each other with this weary kind of sense of battle fatigue. You all sort of come together and just stand there and look at each other. After a while, Fleck just pipes up like that, which instantly makes one of you laugh. Eventually, the laugh becomes quite infectious, and all of you start, in a very good-humoured kind of mirth-like way, start laughing with each other.
Hang on, what? The dog was laughing?
Kind of.
What?
The dog sort of does this noise which makes it laugh. Yeah, it's just like a Scooby-Doo. Like that. And all it's like Scooby-Doo. You're having a Scooby-Doo ending, man. It's beautiful. Don't fucking ruin it.
So beautiful.
Scooby.
I need to go get some Scooby snacks.
He's getting what, sir?
Get some Scooby snacks.
He's getting Scooby snacks.
It was Old Man Jenkins all the time.
That's right. On that note, folks, I think we're going to leave it here. We're going to do sort of like an interlude episode next time to sort of catch up with what happens.
Yeah.
But I think this is a good place to stop. The Vagabonds all stare at each other. This kind of incredible battle has just ensued, and you've come through true. By working together and by the teamwork that all of you showed towards one another, you feel more closer than a family. And as you stand over the body of Ziggy, you sort of the reality of being a hero, which months ago seemed like this beautiful kind of like fun adventure, has sort of come full circle into the reality of what it kind of presents all of you.
Ziggy, you didn't tell us what. I'm guessing Zombie Ziggy just collapsed again.
Zombie Ziggy just collapsed. Yeah. In a slightly socially awkward position.
Does one of us kick a bit of dirt over him?
Teddy, you may. Teddy or Dell, you may totally do that.
Give him an actual burial.
Yeah.
We'll get to that next time.
I think so. Yeah. So we're gonna take a hiatus at this point, folks. So the sun is coming up. The day is won. You feel a great sense as you sort of like wonder what next to do, especially with Ziggy's burial, but also with the people of La Maison Tell that you need to check on. You sort of get a sense of hope that if you can survive something like the Leashmaster, that perhaps your days as adventurers aren't necessarily misbegotten, and that maybe this was the path you were always supposed to run, and you're always supposed to run with each other. At this point, folks, we are going to stop the game. This is also a special notice we're going to say at this point. We are planning to do a revamp of the Vagabonds. So that's not a reboot, that's a revamp. We're going to be taking about 3 weeks off to...
Oh, hang on. Are we not going to do the... Should we do the... We should do the... Finish off this thing, adventure, completely. Do like the Aftermath episode.
Do you want to do the Aftermath episode? Okay, so I tell you what, folks, we're going to do the Aftermath episode to wrap things up. But after that, we're going to be taking a hiatus, which means because we're planning some revamps for the Vagabond Chronicles, including having some of us on screen and having dice rolls on screen and having videos. And we've got a new music thing that we just found out that we've got a license for. So we're gonna plan a whole revamp for the Vagabond Chronicles.
Yeah, the theme tune.
Yeah, the whole fucking
camera.
The whole
show.
Yeah.
We need to take a little while to set that up.
Yeah. So we're going to come back for the interlude episode, which is going to be like a kind of like more admin-y housekeeping kind of thing, with what happens
like
at the aftermath.
How the aftermath, how we recover everything,
moving
taking
forward as well.
whatever experience you want to give us, all that kind of
All
stuff.
that kind of stuff.
Oh yeah, the good stuff. Yeah.
So that'll be a kind of like a mini episode, which will happen in about 2 weeks' time, and then after that, we'll be taking probably about 2 or 3 weeks, maybe longer, and then we'll do a revamp and a relaunch into the new campaign. Just a heads up for that. All right, folks. So whom is going to flip the table today? Is the big question.
I think that's Dell.
Oh,
Right?
I just
Yeah,
closed
yeah.
out.
I
I'm
was going
sorry.
to say, you got punishment.
I
Oh no,
just closed
Del.
out
No,
the
sorry.
thing.
Yeah, Del won the day. Yeah, absolutely. Del.
No, she's just
You'll
chilled
have-
out, dude.
I just got out. I'm sorry. We can all. How about everybody clicks it at once on 3?
We don't know who's flipped it. Somebody's flipped it. It's mystery flip. Go for it.
Okay, right.
right.
Flipping in 3, 2, 1. Goodbye, you bastard Lishmaster.
Hit it! Oh, who did it? It's beautiful! Oh my god, it caused the entire thing to lag so badly, but it's actually beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Alright, folks, thank you very much to the mods. Thank you for listening. Thanks for everybody hanging out. See you in a couple of weeks for the interlude episode, and then we'll be back about a month later, though, or 3 weeks later after that. Take it easy, folks. See you soon. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.